Live from the Maverik Center in West Valley City, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey. As it's a rare Tuesday home game as the Grizzlies take on the Idaho Steelheads. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. It's certainly rare for the Grizzlies to play on a Tuesday. It is the only Tuesday game this season, or I think the Grizzlies actually play Idaho in early April on a Tuesday night as well. There were no scheduled Tuesday games this season. This is the makeup game of the postponed Friday, December 26th game, the day after Christmas, due to the player strike. And so tickets for that game are good to use here this evening. Well, the Grizzlies had an outstanding week in Tahoe, winning 2 out of 3 games. The Grizzlies scored 19 goals in 3 games in Tahoe, and they were outstanding in particular in the third periods in each of the first 2 games of this series. On Wednesday night, February 4th, 6 days ago, the Grizzlies scored 5 third-period goals, and they got 2 goals from Reed Webster, 1 goal and 4 assists from Danny Genev, and Riley Connors had 2 goals and 1 assist. Utah scored a season-high 9 goals in a 9-6 victory. Last Friday, February 6th, the Grizzlies were down 4-2 late in the third period before they scored 5 goals in the span of 4 minutes and 11 seconds to turn a 4-2 deficit into a 7-4 victory. Reed Webster had 2 goals, including the game winner that was scored on a power play, 17-28 into the third period. And speaking of the power play, Grizzlies are 11 for 33 on the power play over the last 9 games. So Utah really has been dominant in that department. Last Saturday in the series finale in Tahoe, the Grizzlies scored 3 goals in the first 10.5 minutes of regulation as Yaroslav Yevdokimov, Evan Friesen, and John Gillette each found the back of the net, but Tahoe scored 4 unanswered, including 3 in the third period, as they came away with a 4-3 victory. It'll be interesting to see the Grizzlies and Steelheads. Obviously, they weren't scheduled to meet after December 27th, and it's going to be interesting seeing the Mountain Division rivals. It's the 6th meeting this season between the clubs. Utah is 2-2-1 against Idaho this season. It's a matchup of the top 2 goal scorers in the league. And when we return to the Grizzlies pregame report, we'll compare Brendan Hoffman, who's got 29 goals this season for Idaho, and Reed Webster has been amazing for the Grizzlies. He's got 4 goals in his last 3 games. Webster is second in the league with 26 goals, and he has 16 goals in his last 22 games. And he's been dominant against the Steelheads this season. He has 5 goals in 5 games against Idaho this year. We'll talk about Brendan Hoffman and Reed Webster on the other side as a crowd's filing in here on a Wednesday night. If you're in the West Valley area, come on out and join us as we're going to have a ton of fun. There's no NHL games scheduled tonight. There's no AHL games scheduled this evening. This is the only game in the ECHL, so it's the only pro hockey game going on nationwide here this evening. And it's right here at Maverik Center. For my money, one of the best rivalries in the league. It's the Utah Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads meeting for the 6th time this season. Don't forget the Grizzlies will be here at Maverik Center this weekend. Friday and Saturday will be 7 o'clock faceoffs against the Bloomington Bison. And Monday, February 16th against Bloomington will be a 3 o'clock start. We'll come back and talk about the top 2 goal scorers in the league on the other side. We're in business on a Tuesday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverik Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health. official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Welcome back to Maverik Center. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-offs in about 15 minutes from now as the Grizzlies take on the arch-rival Idaho Steelheads here on a rare Tuesday night hockey game here at Maverik Center. There's only 2 Tuesday games scheduled this season. Both are against Idaho, and both are makeup games for the December 26th and 27th series that was supposed to be played here at Maverik Center. This is the December 26th makeup game as the Grizzlies take on Idaho for the 6th time this season. It's a matchup of the top 2 goal scorers in the league. Brendan Hoffman and Reed Lebster each have quite a bit in common. Hoffman of the Steelheads has 6 power play goals and 5 power play assists, and that's the identical total that Reed Lebster has, 6 power play goals and 5 power play assists. Both have scored clutch goals for their respective clubs. Hoffman has 8 game-winning goals this season, and Lebster has 5, including the game winner last Friday, with 2.5 minutes left in regulation in the Grizzlies' 7-4 victory over the Tahoe Night Monsters. Both have really done a good job capitalizing on their scoring chances. Hoffman has a 19.1 shooting percentage this season. He has taken 152 shots. And as for Reed Lebster, he has a 17.3 shooting percentage, and he has taken 150 shots for the Grizzlies, which ranks second on the club. Danny Genev leads the entire league with 185 shots on goal. So we're talking about 2 of the best goal scorers in the league, Reed Lebster for the Grizzlies and Brendan Hoffman of the Idaho Steelheads. Some other guys to watch out for, and really you got to pay attention to the special teams tonight. We mentioned the Grizzlies have 11 power play goals in their last 9 games, and they've certainly been instrumental to the Grizzlies' success. Idaho's got a pretty strong power play unit of their own right. Watch out for Liam Malmquist. He has 8 power play assists. We were talking about distributing and getting power play assists. You got to look at the Grizzlies, Danny Genev and Aiden Hansen-Bukata. Both skaters have 13 power play assists on the year. For Danny Genev, he's been one of the best rookies in the league. In fact, he's got to be a leading candidate for the league's Rookie of the Year award. Genev was in training camp with the Idaho Steelheads this season, and the Grizzlies acquired him in a trade for, I think, a 6-pack and maybe a bag of chips. Genev's got 14 goals and 26 assists this season. He's got 14 power play points, 1 goal and 13 assists. He leads the league in shots on goal, and he seems to make everybody on his line better. Oh, by the way, we just about buried the lead. There is a Grizzly forward who's missed the last month that's going to be in action tonight. We'll tell you who he is on the other side. Maxime Barbashev's also back in a Grizzlies uniform as he comes over from the Tucson Roadrunners. We'll go over the lineups for both teams on the other side as we're in business on a Wednesday night. It's a Tuesday night. Tuesday. That's what, the second time I've said it's Wednesday. It is not Wednesday. Tomorrow is not Thursday. Today is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. And we are all sorts of thrown off by the fact that the Grizzlies are playing a home game on a Tuesday for the first time in a good 5 or 6 years. We'll come back and go over the lineups for both teams. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Couple big stories coming into play tonight. Luke Manning is back in the Grizzlies lineup. He has missed each of the last 20 games due to a lower body injury. Manning was playing outstanding hockey at the time of his injury, where he had 1 goal and 6 assists for 7 points in his last 5 games. So Luke Manning is back in the Grizzlies lineup tonight. Maxime Barbashev returns after a 3-week stint in the AHL with the Tucson Roadrunners, where he appeared in 3 games. Let's go over the lineups for both teams. First for the visiting Idaho Steelheads, who are 10-1-1 over their last 12 games. Idaho overall has got a record of 30-11-4. They've been outstanding on the road with a record of 13-4-3. They are led by longtime head coach Everett Sheen, who was the 2022-23 League Coach of the Year. Keenan Kelly is the associate coach, and the team president is Eric Trapp. It's going to be 12 forwards and 6 defensemen for Idaho tonight. The starting defensive pairing will include Jeff Baum, who's got 10 assists in 28 games and is a +5. He'll be wearing number 6. He is paired up with Charlie Dodaro, who's a +10 this season. Charlie Dodaro is the brother of Chris Dodaro, as both teams will have a brother combination in the lineup, as Chris and Charlie Dodaro will play for Idaho, and for the Grizzlies, it's going to be the Gillette brothers, John and Mike. So the starting defensive pairing is going to be Jeff Baum, and Charlie Dodaro will also see Sam Jardine paired up with Aiden Hershuk, and Connor Punnett's going to be paired up with Jake Boltman, the former Notre Dame and Northeastern products. Starting forwards for the Steelheads include their captain, Nick Canati, who's wearing number 3. Jade Miller scored some big goals against the Grizzlies in years past. He's a +9 and has 11 goals and 12 assists on the year. And Angus McDonnell, who's got an NHL contract with the Dallas Stars. McDonnell is 20 years old, a native of Toronto, Ontario. He's got 8 goals and 13 assists in 39 games. You also see a lot of the forward line of Liam Malmquist, Ty Pelton-Bice, and Caleb Pearson. Chris Dodaro, who's 29 years old. He's the younger of the Dodaro brothers. He's going to be lined up with Brendan Hoffman, who we talked about in the last segment. Hoffman leads the league with 29 goals this season. He's a native of Charlotte, North Carolina. And Mitch Wall, the former Grizzly, who's an all-star back in 2012 with the Utah. He's 36 years old. He'll be in there as well. We'll also see Francisco Arcuri, Jordan Steinmetz, and Robbie Holmes. So that's the lineup for the Idaho Steelheads. Their scratches are Jason Horvath, Nick Ports, Mason Nevers, Jaden Shields, and Grant Silanoff, the Notre Dame product. Getting the start in net's going to be Benny Halas. Now, Halas is making his second appearance. He gave up 5 goals in his first outing with the Steelheads. He's got an .833 save percentage. Halas is 5'11" and 181 pounds. The backup goaltender is a familiar name, Jake Barcheski, who led the Grizzlies in victories last year. Barcheski's got a record of 9-3-1 with 1 shutout and a .918 save percentage. Barcheski's the backup, wearing number 33 for the Steelheads tonight. And for the homestanding Utah Grizzlies, who are led by first-year head coach John Buchanan. Assistant coach is Ryan Anderson, and Jack Skilley is assistant coach and director of skill development. Garrett Metcalf's been working with the goaltenders. Director of hockey operations is Eric Hudson. The head equipment manager is DJ McFarland. The assistant equipment manager is, and the head athletic trainer is Brooke Timoney. Grizzlies come in with a record of 17-24-4 on the year, and they've really been a good team on the road. Grizzlies have struggled a bit at home, where they've got a record of 3-12-2. Grizzlies starting goaltender is going to be Dominic Bassey. This will be his 12th appearance this year. Bassey's got a record of 4-5-2 with an .881 save percentage and a 3.75 goals against average. The backup goaltender tonight is going to be Reed Jacobson, who's an emergency backup. We mentioned the big story. Luke Manning is back in the lineup after missing 20 straight games. He is listed as having played the December 31st game, and if he appeared in that game, he only got in for maybe 1 or 2 shifts. We're not sure if he appeared in that game, so that's why we say he has missed 20 straight games. But Luke Manning is back in there, and he's going to be on a forward line with John Gillette and Mikey Colella. The starting forwards are going to be the top forward line on John Buchanan's lineup card, and this has been a highly productive forward line for the Grizzlies as of late. You think about Reed Lepster, he's got 4 goals in his last 3 games. Evan Friesen scored a goal in each of the 3 games in the Tahoe series. And Tyler Gratton, the Grizzlies captain, he's got 1 goal and 3 assists in his last 3 games. And Gratton has 12 points, 5 goals and 7 assists in his last 9 games. So the starting forward line is going to be Gratton, Friesen, and Reed Lepster. Friesen has 6 goals in his last 9 games. The second forward line on John Buchanan's lineup sheet includes Danny Genev on the left wing. He leads the league in shots on goal, and he's been one of the best rookies in the league. Riley Connors was outstanding in the Tahoe series, as Connors had 4 goals and 1 assist in the 3-game set. And Maxim Barbashev returns to the Grizzlies after a stint with the AHL's Tucson Roadrunners. Barbashev with the Grizzlies this season has 3 goals and 6 assists in 21 games. Third forward line, we had mentioned it previously. It's going to be John Gillette, who's got a goal in 2 straight games. Luke Manning, who's back after missing 20 straight games. Great to have Luke back in the lineup. And Mikey Colella, the native of New Jersey, he's got 1 goal and 2 assists in 12 games. Henri Schreifel is going to be on a forward line with Sean Kennedy and Mike Gillette. So that's the 4th forward line on John Mechanic's lineup sheet. Starting forwards again are Friesen with Gratton and Webster. The starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies includes Luke Salem, who's got 1 goal and 12 assists in 42 games. He'll be wearing number 6, and he is paired up with Noah Gansky, who missed Saturday's game in Tahoe. Gansky in 33 games has 3 goals and 7 assists. A former Fort Wayne Comet will be wearing number 21. So it's Salem and Gansky. They're the starting defensive pairing. We will see Sage Weinstein in his first home game back after being reassigned from the Colorado Eagles. He's going to be lined up with Mathieu Boilar, and Colby Enns is going to be paired up with Aiden Hansen-Bukata. For Enns, he's a +1 this season. And it's great to have AHB in the lineup tonight. Remember, he blocked a shot in the 3rd period on Saturday and missed the final 18 minutes of regulation. AHB has been a great distributor for the Grizzlies. He has 25 assists to lead all Utah defensemen. And in particular, he's been strong on the power play with 13 power play assists. Let's get the lineups of the starters for the Grizzlies from public address announcer Mark Larson.
The most valuable bear, Grizzly. Starting on defense, wearing number 6, Lou Salem. On defense, wearing number 21, Noah Gansky. At forward, wearing number 11, Evan Friesen. At forward, wearing number 23, Reed Lobster. At forward, wearing number 59, the captain, Tyler Gratton. And protecting our goal tonight, wearing number 35, Dominic Bassey.
So that's the starters for the Grizzlies, the top forward line. They've all been outstanding over the last few weeks. Grizzlies are wearing a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim. Idaho's in a white jersey with silver on the shoulders and a little bit of black trim, black letters, black numbers in the back with silver trim. And it's certainly a sharp look. We got a good uniform matchup tonight. It's the Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads, and it could be a high-scoring game just based on the fact that Idaho leads the league in goals per game at 3.76. They also lead the league in shots per game at 34.6. And the Grizzlies have been outstanding as of late, scoring 39 goals in their last 9 games, and they scored 19 goals in the 3-game set against the Tahoe Night Monsters. Now we got the presentation of the colors, and we'll have our national anthem here on this Tuesday night.
Now please rise and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight in section 125 by Sunset Ridge Middle School Rhapsody Choir, along with West Hills Middle School Choir.
Twilight.
It's a great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as Utah Grizzlies take on the Idaho Steelheads for a rare Tuesday game. It's been 5 or 6 years since the Grizzlies have had a home game on a Tuesday. And we got to apologize to Miles Stewart, the assistant equipment manager. We forgot his name as we were introducing the staff of the Grizzlies. Utah will start out with a really strong forward line. We had mentioned Gratton, Friesen, and Lebster and the success they've had lately. Gratton's got 12 points in his last 9 games. Friesen scored a goal in each of the 3 games in Tahoe. He has 6 goals in his last 9 games. And Reed Lebster, what else has he done? He leads the Grizzlies with 26 goals this season. He has 16 goals in his last 22 games. We had mentioned it's a battle of the top 2 goal scorers in the league. Brendan Hoffman's somebody to watch out for on the Idaho side as he leads the league with 29 goals this season. Dominic Massey's getting the start in it. He has won 4 of his last 7 starts, and he'll be wearing number 35 for John Mechanic's crew. And for the Idaho Steelheads, it's Benny Halas, who's making his second appearance this season. Referees tonight are Curtis Pare and James Kraft. The linesmen are Tyler Keston and Colin Klein indoors. Puck is dropped at center ice and we're underway. Idaho skates from left to right as we see it from high top section 114. Great to see live hockey in the building here at Maverik Center. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the first frame. As Friesen off his stick, Gansky collects the puck. He skates towards the far goal line. He's behind Bassey's right shoulder. Gansky will slide it ahead to Friesen, who moves to his right for Lebster. Lebster will sky it angle left as it ricochets off the boards. And taking the puck is Charlie Dodaro, the older brother of Chris Dodaro. Both are on the Steelheads club. As Jade Miller loses the puck at neutral ice, Steelheads recollect it in their own zone. As Jake Boltman gets it towards Connor Punnin, who's got an NHL deal with Dallas. He'll drop it off as Mitch Wall, the former Grizzly, 36 years old, steps over the Utah blue line and dumps it behind Bassey. As Genev one-hands it back towards Weinstein, who holds up Mitch Wall. Now the puck goes back towards Wall up top to Punnin. He's in the left point over to Boltman, high slot. Righty shot goes wide. It hits the top of the boards. Ricochets in front of the crease. Batted by Salem. Idaho wanted a hand pass, but none to be called. As the Steelheads back towards neutral ice. As Barbashev off of Chris Dodaro. As Mitch Wall in the area off the shin of a Steelhead. And that's Brendan Hoffman in his first shift of the game. As Grizzlies slide one towards the middle of the ice. As taking it off the boards is Riley Connors, who had 4 goals in the Tahoe series. Genev down the middle, will pitch to his right. Colby Enns will take a righty shot, saved by Halas. Rebound goes back towards Chris Dodaro off his stick. Genev, lefty shot, right wing goes wide. Wallar around the boards. Genev gets it in the right point as he dances free of Hoffman. As Genev rolls one out to the middle of the ice to Connors off his stick, and the puck will wobble to center ice. Colby Enns has it. Back in the Grizzly zone as both teams will switch up forwards. Left wing feed to Wallar goes tape to tape. Connors will tap it off an Idaho stick and it goes over Halas's head and ricochets off the top of the boards. We played about 2 minutes. Grizzlies have 1 shot. Idaho's yet to fire away. As taking the puck is Luke Manning in his first shift in 21 games. Great to see Manning back in the lineup. He's wearing an A on his sweater. Gansky's the other one wearing an A. He's in the corner with Manning. Mikey Colella back towards Manning, who one-hands it ahead. Taking the puck is Samuel Jardine. Jardine, a 32-year-old out of Alberta. This is his 42nd game this season. Caleb Pearson will move it to his right. Over the line for Ty Pelton-Bice, trying to get it back to Pearson. Grizzlies collected, and they ice it all the way down as the whistle blows with 17:32. That's the time remaining in this first period. Who's your pick to click? Who's going to be the player of the game tonight for the Grizzlies? I don't know. Luke Manning in his first game back. It's been a little while. It's great to see him. I'm going with John Gillette, who's on the ice. He got a goal in 2 straight games. Gillette among team leaders in block shots. He's on the ice right now with Luke Manning and Mikey Colella. So that's the forward line. If you're an Idaho fan, who's going to get it done for the Steelheads? Ty Pelton-Bice usually does some damage against Utah, and Jade Miller is someone to watch out for as well. Idaho wins the draw as Hershuk will skate towards the right corner as he gets pushed by Colella. As puck goes back to Arcuri, right wing, lefty shot goes just wide. Arcuri, a talented 22-year-old from Toronto, Ontario. As the puck goes back towards John Gillette, he'll feed it around the wall for Salem, who avoids a check of Robbie Holmes. Holmes trips up Salem, no call. 2 referees tonight, they were looking at it and decide to play on. Colella will wobble it out to center ice. It hits off the shin of Sam Jardine as the Grizzlies switch up skaters. As on the ice for their first shift of the game is Sean Kennedy. And it looks like John Gillette's going to be replaced by Henri Schreifels. And Mike Gillette, the older brother of John, is going to be on the ice. And so both teams have a pair of brothers on the roster. The Steelheads have Chris and Charlie Dodaro, and the Grizzlies have the Gillettes, John and Mike. As Nick Canati, the Idaho captain, he'll get towards center ice, and he'll sky it off the Grizzlies' end glass. Schreifel's wearing number 7, will bounce one across as goes towards Mike Gillette, who drifts it forward. Gillette chasing after it in the Steelhead zone, but it's taken back by Idaho's number 27, Angus McDonnell. McDonnell, just 20 years old, out of Toronto, Ontario, as taking the puck behind the net with a sporting a beard is Jeff Baum. Baum will move it to the right side off the boards. Miller collects it, steps over the offensive blue before it's crowbarred away by Luke Salem as Wall comes off the ice, and the Steelheads are at neutralized. Grizzlies make a line change as well as Canati skates towards the right point. He'll take a lefty shot, and it's sticked away by Bassey. We played 4 minutes. Both teams have one shot. Reed Lepster over the offensive blue, but Canati on the back check takes it away. And Canati will fire it off the glass. Friesen tried to play soccer, kicked it with his skis. The puck will roll into the Grizzlies zone. Noah Gansky gets it in front of Bassey's net. Gansky and Luke Manning are wearing the A's on their sweater. The Grizzlies captain's Tyler Gratton, the second-year pro out of Arizona State and Penn State. Siren pass, Mitch Wall drops it. Chris Darrell's lefty shot, saved by Bassey. Now it's ricocheted in by Brendan Hoffman. He was at the near goal line, fired it off Bassey. And the Steelheads take a 1-0 lead with 15:31 left in the first. We had talked about Hoffman coming into play tonight, leading the league with 29 goals. Check that, make it 30 goals. As Bassey made a great save on a Chris Dodaro shot. And then Hoffman tried to center it, and it ricocheted off a Bassey stick and into the back of the net. So Hoffman got creative. Bassey made a great save there, denying Chris Dodaro, but then Bassey lost his balance, and Hoffman fired it off a Bassey stick in the back of Utah's net. Brendan Hoffman gets his 30th goal of the year. The assists go to Chris Dodaro, who gets his 18th assist, as well as Mitch Wall, who gets his 6th assist of the year. Puck at neutral ice. Idaho leads 1-0, and that's been an issue for the Grizzlies here at home, and that's been a big reason as to why they've been a better road club, is just getting off to leads on the road as opposed to at home. Grizzlies have only had a lead after one period twice here on the Maverik Center ice. As Sage Weinstein will helicopter it out to center ice, playing soccer. Geniev gets the puck, skates towards left wing, lefty shot, saved by Halas. And the Steelheads will clear it off the near wing boards and race out to center ice. Chris Dodaro will fire onto Bassey, who collects it in the butterfly position. He keeps the play alive. Steelheads make a full line change. 14:45 on a moving clock. First period, Idaho leads 1-0. Just a rare Tuesday game here at Maverik Center. Utah will take on Bloomington for 3 games in a 4-day stretch. Colella gets blasted by Sam Jardine as Hershuk plays it behind Idaho's net. Grizzlies in the black jerseys with white numbers, professional green trim. Idaho in a white jersey with a little bit of silver and black mixed in. Crossing center ice is Ty Pelton-Bison. Luke Manning delivers a big hit on Pelton-Bice. Puck towards the right corner, and Bice just lights up Luke Manning. Ballard wants to fight Pelton-Bice. And they're just going to continue to play, but everybody's going to skate over as, holy cow, we've got an episode of the Jerry Springer Show breaking out in the right corner as Manning delivered a hit on Pelton-Bice, and then it looked like Bice returned the favor on Manning. Remember, Luke Manning has missed 20 straight games, and then Boilard went after Pelton-Bice as he was standing in the area after seeing Bice light up Manning. And oddly enough, the whistle didn't blow, and then everybody skated towards the corner, and the officials had no choice but to blow the whistle. So Boilard is going to go to the box. He's as close to an enforcer as the Grizzlies have. He is a very strong defenseman who can go with just about anybody in the league at 6'2" and 225 pounds. So it looks like Boilard is going to get 2 minutes for roughing, and that might be the only penalty we get. As Bice, he just lit up Manning with a strong shoulder checker. And before that, though, Manning delivered a big hit on Bice. Luckily, it looked like Luke Manning was all right after the hit. And then everybody just converged towards the corner. And Colin Kleinendorf, the linesman, he had his work cut out for him. Kleinendorf sporting a mustache, and he was in the middle of it all, trying to break up the fight. And then referee Curtis Pare pointed to the penalty box and said, Boilard, you're going here. So out of all that, Boilard's the one that gets the only penalty, and it's going to be a roughing minor, 5:48 in. Everybody's just kind of lingering for a little bit. John Buchanan is standing in the front of the bench as he probably wants a word with one of the referees. So with all that, Idaho's going to get a power play. Steelheads lead 1-0. They've outshot the Grizzlies 4-2. Faceoff's going to be at neutral ice. It's going to be a neutral ice faceoff near dot Grizzlies territory as Tyler Gratton will take the draw against Mitch Wall. Idaho's power play this season has 18.9%. The Grizzlies' penalty kill is 76.6%. Idaho crosses center ice after winning the draw as Wall will dump it into the corner as our Curry pushes Noah Gansky. We get a whistle, and it looks like offside is called as Tyler Keston will point out to neutral ice. Now the face-off. Let's see. It's going to be in the same spot where the power play started. So a lot of fun action here early on. 14:01's the time remaining. First period, Idaho leads 1-0 on Brendan Hoffman's league-leading 30th of the year. As Idaho wins the draw, as Charlie Dodaro moves to the left wing, crossing center ice and whipping it around the boards, as Jordan Steinmetz has got 3 goals in the +3 rating this season. Puck towards the right corner, our Curry dancing back and forth. He's got McDonnell nearby as the puck will wobble from one corner to the other. Reed Lepster gets there about the same time as Steinmetz. Now Steinmetz collects the puck. He gets up top to Mitch Wall. Over to Charlie Dodaro, who's dangling back and forth in the right point. Over to our Curry, back to our Dodaro. To Dodaro. Over to the left wing. Mitch Wall, lefty shot. See, rebound shot goes just wide. As McDonnell had the second look. Looked like he had some room glove side, but fired it off the glass. Idaho skates back in. Our Curry towards the left circle as trying to drop it off. Reese anticipated the play. Gets it over towards Lepster. Race across center ice. Lepster's got 2 shorthanded goals this season. Grizzlies have 5 as a team. Weinstein enters from the left wing. Skates to the left circle. Toe drag, lost control. Gets it back. Shot. Blocker saved by Halaz. We played 7 minutes. Idaho leads 1-0. There's 43 seconds left in Idaho's power play. Their first of the game. As Pearson over to Hoffman, right wing. Hoffman gets knocked down by Weinstein. Puck goes up top. Baum with the puck. And he'll backhand it towards Pearson just outside the right circle. Bouncing one to Hoffman. Hoffman collects it with good hands. He's behind Utah's net. Hoffman gets it towards the left wing. As the Steelheads over the left goal line, drop it back for Hoffman. Now to Belton Bice over in the left circle off his stick. Now shot saved by Bassey. Taking the puck and skating towards the corners, Liam Malmquist. Who has 8 power play assists this season. Colby Enns will clear it off the near wing boards all the way down deep towards Benny Halas as Boilar is itching to come out of the box. Idaho with 5 shots, Utah's 3. Boilar's out of the box. Successful penalty kill for the Grizzlies. Danny Genev enters from the right wing. Skates in the middle of the ice, lefty shot. Saved by Halas. And he holds on with 12:03 left in the first period. Idaho leads 1-0 on Brendan Hoffman's league-leading 30th of the year. Was scored 4:29 in. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw on the other side. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverik Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
And 3 seconds are left in the first period. Idaho leads 1-0 on Brendan Hoffman's league-leading 30th of the year. He scored 4:29 in with Chris Dodaro and Mitch Wall gained the assists. Grizzlies had 1 successful penalty kill in the first segment of play. Matchup of 2 hot offensive clubs. Idaho leads the league in goals per game at 3.76. They also lead the league in shots per game at 34.6. Grizzlies have 39 goals in their last 9 games. Genev, right wing, skates towards the circle, gets around one Steelhead, trying to feather one out in front towards Connors, and it's picked off. Robbie Holmes, number 32, a power forward for Idaho. Steps over the offensive line, gets to the right circle, fires a backhand shot, saved by Bassey. And the net barges open as Bassey was leaning towards his left as he made the stop with 11:43 left in the first. Grizzlies have been a pretty good road club this season. They've won 4 of their last 6 on the road, and they have a winning record away from Maverik Center. They're looking to translate that into success here at home. It's game 46 of 72 for both clubs. For the Grizzlies, it's just their 18th home game this year. Idaho has played 21 road games, 25 at home. 6 of 7 meetings between the clubs this year. Utah is 2-2-1 against Idaho this season. And both of their wins were over at Idaho Central Arena. Salem will sky it past Genev as the puck kept the opposite towards Halas, who will brush it towards the near wing boards. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the first period. Maxime Barbashev off the stick. He's back after a 3-week stint in the AHL with the Tucson Roadrunners. Punt it gets to the Utah line, and he'll push it in. Weinstein around the boards to Genev, but it goes past him. Punt it in the right side. Lefty shot gets redirected. Bassey makes the save. Boy, great stop by Dominic Bassey as Punnett had the puck on the right side. Puck was centered towards Jade Miller. It was kind of a half shot and half centering feed towards Miller. Ricocheted off Miller's stick, and Bassey was able to collect it for a nice save. Dominic Bassey has saved 6 of 7. He has won 4 of his last 7 starts. He came in relief on Saturdays. Boy, there's a redirection by Miller, and Bassey made a good stop, and Weinstein was behind Bassey just in case it trickled past him. Saturday night starting goaltender Anson Thornton's the puck ricochets off the face-off that Manning took, that Bassey collects, and he stops play with 11:14 left in the first. Anson Thornton started last Saturday's game. He was reassigned to the Grizzlies from the Tucson Roadrunners through the Utah Mammoth. He's got an NHL contract with the Mammoth. He stopped 32 of 33 and was outstanding. Unfortunately, late in the second period, suffered a lower body injury, and he's going to be out a few weeks. As Thornton was playing outstanding on Saturday, right point. Lefty shot by Hershuk goes wide. He missed the net stick side on Bassey. Bassey might have gotten a piece of it with his blocker. Left wing, Mitch Wall dances back and forth. They'll drop it for Jardine, left wing. He helicopters one towards the net. It's blocked by Colby Enns. Jardine gets it back, left wing. Lefty shot. Saved by Bassey off his chest. Second chance, Idaho scores. And mama, there goes that man again. It's Brendan Hoffman getting his second of the night and 31st of the year. So it's Brendan Hoffman 2 and the Utah Grizzlies nothing. Shot was taken from the left point. A ricocheted off Bassey's chest. Hoffman kept hacking away once, twice, maybe 3 times, and that third effort was pushed into the back of the net as Hoffman was battling with Colby Enns. So Hoffman at the goal, the lone assist right now goes to Samuel Jardine, and that would be Jardine's 11th assist of the year. As Grizzlies cross center ice, and they'll throw it off the glass near the Idaho bench, and the puck ends up about row 6 or 7 in section 102. So Steelheads have outshot the Grizzlies 11-5, and Brendan Hoffman has both of the Idaho goals. So once again, here at home, the Grizzlies are going to have to play catch-up. And after the game, I'm going to have to apologize to Miles Stewart for forgetting his name right next to DJ McFarland. Miles Stewart, though, went bar down here on the Maverik Center ice about a month ago. Made an impressive play. Centering pass towards Kennedy. Fires lefty shot that goes wide. Kennedy kind of fired a changeup on Halas. Boilard has on the left side, but it glanced off his stick. Puck to center ice. As Boilard dives, Pearson gets the puck. Pearson moves it towards the left wing. Pelton Bice drops it off as the Steelheads lead 2-0. Malmquist will throw one towards the net. Saved by Bassey, who clears it towards the far corner. Kennedy towards the middle of the ice. Gets the puck. He'll get it to his right for Mike Gillette. And Mike will bounce one into the right corner. He gets around Malmquist. Taking the puck is Jake Boltman. Now Malmquist gets it back. Malmquist is second on the Steelheads in points with 32 on the year. 15 goals, 17 assists. They also add an assist to Mitch Wall on the Hoffman second goal. It means Wall's got 2 assists tonight as Lebster gets past one Steelhead but lost control of the puck as it goes back to neutral ice. Ends towards Weinstein on the left wing. Weinstein helicopters one that's snatched by Halaz about shoulder high. He makes a backhand snag with 9:33 left in the first and stops plays. The Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. Boy, you mentioned, kind of those splits home and road with the Grizzlies. It's home game number 18 for the Grizzlies, but they've just scored first 7 of the 18. And, the previous 17 home games for the Grizzlies, they've only had a lead or were tied after one period in 8 occasions, 8 of the 17. So Grizzlies have had to play catch-up here at home. That's really been a big difference. The Grizzlies have gotten off to early leads on the road as Salem fires towards the right corner. Ricochets off the stanchion towards Halaz. As the puck goes towards the right wing at center ice for Holmes off his stick. Puck to the right corner of the Grizzlies zone. As 9:10 on a moving clock in the first period, Idaho leads 2-0 on 2 goals from Brendan Hoffman. Puck goes back up top as it's taken by Steinmetz, who will feed it towards left side. It's picked off by Lepster. Lepster, the second-year Grizzly, over to Friesen. He'll drop it for Gratton over the offensive blue. Gratton leaves it for Gansky. Gansky dances around. Now he veers off to his right. He'll drop it to Hanson Bukata, who feeds one across off an Idaho stick. Gansky on the right side. He'll bounce one behind Idaho's net. Gratton, I tried to wrap around it towards Friesen. The puck goes past him. Grizzlies keep it in the offensive zone. Friesen to the middle of the ice, fakes behind his back. Now drops over to Lepster on the left wing. Lepster chips it to the middle, but it's picked off by Connor Punnett. Punnett is 6'2", 202 pounds. He looks a lot bigger than that. Has an NHL contract with Dallas. He skies it out to center ice. Now it's plopped towards the Grizzlies bench, where it's gloved and dropped by Colby Enns, who moves to his left. Genev fires a lefty shot and goes wide as he fired away from inside the left circle. Barbashev plays soccer towards Genev. Genev lefty shot kick saved by Halaz off his right pad. Connors bounces one towards Genev, but it ricochets off Boltman's stick and it flies out of play off the protective netting as there's 8 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We know there's a lot of sports and entertainment options out there. Thanks for choosing the Grizzlies in their battle against the Idaho Steelheads. It's the only pro hockey game tonight. No NHL games. They're on Olympic break, and there's no American Hockey League games. They're currently in an all-star break. Earlier today, Team USA got a big victory in women's hockey against Team Canada. Looking forward to seeing Team USA in action later on this week. Connors will take the draw, the St. Lawrence and Yale product, to fine academic institutions. Jade Miller's kicked out of the face-off circle. Taking the draw is Angus McDonnell. As a draw won by Idaho, Nick Canati will sky it out to center ice. Baller near the Grizzlies bench will curl one past Weinstein, or was actually overled for him. Now Barbashev off the boards to Boilar. He backhands it towards Genev. Linesman Tyler Keston says Genev didn't get a piece of it. And icing is on Utah with 7:51 left in the first. It's the opener of a 4-game homestand for the Grizzlies. The Bloomington Bison come into town for the first time ever. Friday night's game is going to be at 7:10. Saturday is going to be at 7:10 as well. And of course, Saturday is Valentine's Day. If you got a special loved one or somebody that you want to impress, hey, why not come on down to Maverik Center? After all, the NHL's on Olympic break and you want to see some live pro hockey, this is the perfect place. And who knows, if it works out, you can blame the success on the Grizzlies. And if not, then don't blame us. Hey, we're not going to be around in 2 months anyways. Barbashev off this stick, and puck slides towards center ice. Hooking's going to be the call. Is going to be on Idaho, as Barbashev was just skating down the middle of the ice, lost control, and I believe it's going to be a Utah power play. Hooking's going to be the call, as signaled by referee James Kraft, who's going to the box. It's going to be Nick Canati, the Idaho captain. He gets 2 minutes for hooking. He gets penalty minutes 40 and 41 on the season, as Barbashev lost control of the puck as he was skating down the middle of the ice. And the referee spotted it. Utah's power play this season is 21.3%, and they're 11 for their last 33 on the man advantage. The power play ranks 6th in the league. Idaho's penalty kill is 80.1%. Friesen will take the draw. He's got Lepser to his left and Gratton to his right. Up top is Hanson Bukata and Danny Genev. AHB drops the Lepsters in the left point. Over to Genev on the right side, who chips it back towards Lepster. Lepster directs it to Genev in the right corner. Genev saucers it back towards Lepster, drops it back to Genev. Genev fires lefty shot. It's blocked. The Steelheads get it, and they'll clear it all the way out. Bassey behind his net will play it. Watch out for Tyler Grant. He leads the Grizzlies with 6 power play goals this season. Lepster gets it. Actually, Lepster and Gratton are tied for the club lead with 6 power play goals over to Friesen, who bounces one to Lepster in the left corner. He'll dish it back up top to Hanson Buchanan over to Genev. Lefty shot saved by Halas. Rebound goes to Idaho, and Jeff Baum will whip it around the boards, and the puck goes all the way back towards Bassey. Dominic Bassey will drop it to Hanson Buchanan. The Steelheads will get 4 fresh tires on their penalty kill. Grizzlies keep the same 5-man unit on the ice. AHB will sweep one back to Genev, as Danny Genev will nudge it towards his right to Lepster, back to Genev, who's in the left wing. He'll lay it for Friesen. Now back to Genev, who skates around Idaho's net to the right side for Gratton. Lefty shot goes wide, as the Steelhead got a stick in the way, and that was Ty Pelton-Bice. Hanson Buchanan over to Lepster in the left wing. 50 seconds left in the power play. An extended shift for this power play unit. Hanson Buchanan fires lefty shot. He scores! Aiden Hanson Buchanan gets his 3rd of the year. It's a power play goals. It's now a 2-1 game. How about that? He was in the left point. Looked like there was a Grizzly getting a stick in the way to try to redirect it, but that one just helicoptered over Halas. And the way Benny Halas reacted, it looked like he didn't have good vision on the shot. As AHB just kind of fired a prayer towards the net and missed Friesen's stick, and it fired over Halas's left shoulder. Benny Halas is not a big goaltender at just 5'11" and 181 pounds. So normally it's Hanson Buchanan distributing the power play goals. This time it's Hanson Buchanan scoring, as he now has 3 goals this season. Reed Lepster and Tyler Grant each pick up an assist. So it's now 2-1. Let's get the goal announcement from Mark Larson.
Oh, Grizzlies! Scoring his 3rd goal of the season on the power play, number 20, Aiden Hanson Buchanan. Assisted by
Idaho moves it towards the left point. Weinstein gets it. Grizzlies in the offensive zone. Colby Enns gets it towards Coella. Back towards Enns. He fires the righty shot that goes wide. As the puck towards the left wing. Weinstein back up top to Enns. Enns dances back and forth. He takes a righty shot. Saved by Halas. And he holds on with 5:40 left in the first, but the Grizzlies are starting to roll, as it looks like the power play has built some confidence for the Grizzlies. They are now 12 for their last 34 on the power play. It's Brendan Hoffman 2 and Aiden Hanson Buchanan 1. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first period. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West, or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
5 minutes and 40 seconds are left in the first period. Idaho leads Utah 2-1, but the Grizzlies look like they built some momentum with plenty of offensive zone time over the last 3 minutes. Interesting to see Reed Lepster and Tyler Grant each pick up an assist, as they've had a great amount of success against Idaho this year, as the Steelheads win the draw. Robbie Holmes gets it crowbarred away by Luke Salem. As the Steelheads back deep in their own zone, Samuel Jardine is challenged by Sean Kennedy. Both Jardine and Kennedy go down. Idaho moves it out to center ice. Gansky will skip it back to the left corner. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the first period, as Idaho moves it out to center ice. Steinmetz gets around Schreifels and throws it in. Gansky to the left corner as he skates around Bassey's net towards the near side. He'll drop it for Salem. It goes past him to Mike Gillette, and Gillette out to center ice. To Darrow. Charlie, that it is, battles with Henri Schreifels. Puck off of Steinmetz as Gansky collides with Steinmetz. As Grizzlies step over the offensive line as Kennedy gets it kicked away by Charlie Dodaro. As Salem comes off the ice, he's replaced by Colby Enns. As Idaho races across center ice, Charlie Dodaro left wing. He'll plop it into the corner and chase after. He gets around Ends, gets around Connors. As Dodaro cycles it back to the spot he vacated. Puck in the left corner as Barbashev collides with Miller. Left wing, lefty shot, saved by Bassey. As Ends will nudge it from one corner to the other. Loose puck is taken by Idaho's McDonnell. He'll feed it up top, but it goes out to center ice. Baum will whip it around the wall as Bassey will drop it back for Connors, but Connors overskated it, gets it back and gets the Ends in the far corner. As there's 4 minutes, 17 seconds on a moving clock here in the first period. Idaho leads 2-1. Steelheads have outshot the Grizzlies 13-8. Ends gets double team behind Bassey's left shoulder. Jade Miller will throw it to the far side. Canati gets it up top. Canati at one point was a defenseman for the Steelheads, but he's now a forward. Out to the right wing, Jade Miller gets up top. Jake Boltman collects it in the high slot and moves it to his left. And now it's dropped to the right wing. Lefty shot goes wide. Boy, Miller had a grade A chance, but just missed the net stick side on Bassey. As Boltman gets in the right side, tried to feather one out in front. And Miller was occupied by Ends. Up top, Canati fakes a one-timer just outside the left circle. Fires lefty shot and it's blocked. Barbashev moves it ahead, but it goes past Connors and all the way down for a Utah icing. As there's 3:33 left in the first. Back to the success that Lepster and Grattan have had against Idaho this year. Grattan now has 9 points against Idaho this season, 4 goals and 5 assists, and this is 6th game against Idaho. And for Reed Lepster, it's his 8th point against Idaho, as he had 5 goals and 3 assists, and this is 6th game. And remember, Lepster had a huge game, 3 goals and 1 assist on October 24th, as Grizzlies put together maybe their best 60-minute effort all season as they won 5-0, and that was the game where Dylan Wells had the 46-save shutout. The other one that Utah has against Idaho this season came on November 15th, where the Grizzlies won 4-3. Utah wins the draw. They make a full line change with 3:23 left in the first. As the Steelheads will bounce to the Utah line right wing. He goes past Pelton Bice, who is battling with Weinstein. Hands Mukata ahead towards Evan Freese near the Grizzlies bench. Drops it for Lepster. Idaho somehow kept it in, and they'll fire it off the Utah backboards as Caleb Pearson drops it for Ty Pelton Bice. Left wing backhand shot saved by Bassey. Puck still alive. Bassey trying to cover up. Now it kicks off in front of the crease with Hershuk. Now right wing Pearson righty shot saved by Bassey. Big time scramble play. Pearson had the puck on the right side. Fired towards the net, and Bassey gloves it. As Bassey shakes his head back and forth, and really for the Steelheads, they've been pretty good at that all season, just creating those scramble plays, forcing the defense to react quickly. Bassey thought he had covered it up, and then it kicked off a Hershuk who lost his balance, and then Pearson, looked like Pearson's shot would have gone wide off the outside of the cage anyway, but Bassey collected it with 2:56 left in the first. So face-offs in the right circle, it's taken by Idaho. Charlie Dodaro will bounce one off a Grizzly, and that's Noah Gansky. Gansky across center ice, gets around Baum. Gansky over the offensive blue, drops for Grattan, who swings and misses on a righty wrist shot. As the Steelheads get it behind Halaz's net. Steelheads will sky it just under the video board. Noah Gansky towards the left corner, drops for Luke Salem. Around the boards to Grattan, who fires it off of Charlie Dodaro. Malmquist gets it back deep behind Utah's net. As Salem collides with Caleb Pearson. Action still deep in the Grizzly zone. Idaho slides one in front, and it's taken by Reed Lepster. Lepster, left wing, crosses center ice with Pearson on the back check, and Lepster fires it in. Grattan gets there about the same time as Baum. Lepster gets nudged towards the boards. Puck to the middle of the ice, taken by Luke Manning. Over towards Lepster. Now Manning around Idaho's net. He fires lefty shot. He scores! Welcome back, Luke Manning. He gets his 3rd of the year, and it's now tied at 2. And having missed over a month worth of action, that has to feel great for the St. Thomas and Air Force product. As Luke Manning was just on the right side, fired an innocent-looking shot, and ended up going past Benny Halas. Boy, great moment for Luke Manning, who just got the puck, skated around Idaho's net, and just fired a low prayer. And the prayer was answered past Benny Halas. As Manning goes 5-hole, he gets his 3rd goal of the year. He had missed 20 straight games, and that had to feel good for Luke Manning as he celebrated that one. 2 unanswered for the Grizzlies, and we're tied at 2 late in the first period. Manning with the goal, Lepster and Grattan each with their 2nd assist of the first period. Time of goal, 18:03 in. Ball at center ice, dumps it in. Passy rolls it towards Weinstein and gets it ahead. Past John Gillette. It was back checked by Boltman, but no icing. As chasing after it's Mikey Colelli. He's got great speed behind Idaho's net. Off his stick, Connor Punnett gets pushed by Colella. As back behind Idaho's net, Jake Boltman will sky it. And I mean sky it. It goes into the Grizzlies bench near emergency goaltender Reed Jacobson and towards Aiden Hans-Bucata, who scored Utah's first goal. Now AHB is going to toss it to somebody in section 126. So that has to feel great for Luke Manning. He had been a key forward for the Grizzlies, in particular in the month of December, the early portion of December, but then he suffered a lower body injury, missed 20 straight games, and he scores the late first period goal. Idaho had a 2-0 lead after Brendan Hoffman scored twice. He scored 4:29 in and 9:12 in. Grizzlies got on the board with Aiden Hans-Bucata getting a power play tally, 13:35 in. Lepster and Gratton with the assist. Luke Manning scores 18:03 in as the puck is deflected out of play. And Manning gets his third of the year. Lepster and Gratton each with their second assists of the night. So already a multiple-point game for Lepster and Gratton. He's a fan in the front row, comes away with a frozen puck. And that's in section 102. For Reed Lepster, that's his 10th multiple-point game this season. For Tyler Gratton, that's his 8th. And we've been talking about the highly productive forward line of Lepster, Gratton, and Friesen. And they have combined for each of Utah's 2 goals. Idaho fires it in for an icing with exactly 1 minute left in the first period. So faceoff's going to come back towards Benny Halas. We had kind of predicted a higher scoring game just based on how well both teams have performed offensively as of late. Idaho's had plenty of 4+ goal games in their stretch of 12 games where they've got a record of 10-1-2. And for the Grizzlies, they came into play with 39 goals in their last 9 games and 19 goals in their last 3. So the Grizzlies have really developed a great deal of chemistry offensively. They're playing with confidence and rolling the puck. Both teams have passed the puck pretty well here in the first period. It's been a very fun game. As Jardine gets it across to Hershuk off the boards. Genev, who was with Idaho in training camp, gets it towards Maxime Barbashev, who gets double teamed. He gets knocked down, and Hershuk takes the puck. Hershuk will drop it behind him. Aiden's his first name. Now Francisco Arcuri overskates it. Now Grizzly falls down, and that's Barbashev. The puck goes out to center ice off a Steinmetz stick. Steinmetz will hit it off a stanchion. Bassey behind his net, the big 6'6" goaltender. Plays it, gets it towards Boilard. Ahead to Genev, left wing. Connors off his stick as Connors delivers a big-time hit on Charlie Dodaro. Dodaro back to his feet off a Barbashev's stick. Connors gets it 2-on-1. Connors skates towards the right wing. He fumbled the puck as it looked like he was trying to either toe drag or just look at it. Now the puck goes behind Halaz's left shoulder as he looks over his shoulder with a big scrum, and that will do it for first period action. Boy, Riley Connors would have loved to have had that one back as he just tried to push the puck back and just fumbled the puck a little bit as he was trying to bring it back. Well, very entertaining first period as we're tied at 2. As the Steelheads got 2 goals from Brendan Hoffman out in front. Grizzlies got a power play goal from Aiden Hans-Bucata, 13:35 in. And then Luke Manning in his first game since the middle of December. He had missed 20 straight games, and that had to feel great as he scored 5-hole from the right wing past Halaz, 18:03 in. Reed Lepster and Tyler Gratton with the assists on each of Utah's 2 first period goals. We'll come back and talk some hockey. We'll recap the first 20 minutes. Both teams passed the puck well, and it was a very aesthetically pleasing brand of hockey. As Utah's power play continues to stay red hot, Hans-Bucata scored on the power play, 13:35 in. Normally he does it picking up assists, and he's racked up assists in bunches on Utah's power play. He has 13 power play assists, and for Hans-Bucata, that was his first power play goal of the season. We'll come back and talk some hockey on the other side and recap the first 20 minutes of what was a very entertaining period. The score after one frame, it's the Utah Grizzlies 2 and the Idaho Steelheads 2. We're back in 2 minutes on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider. Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier. Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier. BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Dash, official mobile auction platform. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider. Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner. Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider. Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner. And Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Welcome back to Maverik Center. It was a very entertaining first period where both teams scored 2 goals. Idaho outshot Utah 15-9. Grizzlies got it done on the special teams. They are 1 for 1 on the power play. Idaho is 0 for 1. Steelheads got on the board first on kind of an odd play as Charlie Dodaro, or actually it was Chris Dodaro, the brother of Charlie Dodaro. Chris is younger and is a forward out of Bloomingdale, Illinois, and obviously Charlie's from the same area. But Chris Dodaro took a shot from the right side. It ricocheted off Bassey, made a nice save. Puck stayed alive. Bassey lost his balance. Hoffman was at the near goal line, centered it in front. It ricocheted off a Bassey stick and into the back of Utah's net to give Idaho a 1-0 lead. And that is the league-leading 30th goal from Brendan Hoffman. And then when the score was 1-0, Luke Manning delivered a big hit along the right wing to tie Pelton Bice. Then Bice skated to the corner, tried to return the favor and did so. It was a big hit on Luke Manning, kind of a nice shoulder check. Manning went flopping over, and he got back to his feet luckily pretty quickly, but Boilar was in the area, and Boilar got after it with Ty Pelton Bice, and Mathieu Boilar picked up a roughing minor, 5:48 in. Grizzlies were successful on the penalty kill. Idaho did have 1 power play shot. Hoffman scored his second of the game and 31st of the year, 9:12 in. Sam Jardine took a shot from the left point that ricocheted off of Bassey's chest, and then there was just a loose puck out in front. It probably wasn't the first, maybe the second chance. It might have been the third hack by Hoffman that found the back of the net as Hoffman was battling with Colby Enns near Dominic Bassey. So Hoffman with his 31st of the year, and he's been a strong Grizzlies killer so far this season. And Brendan Hoffman and Reed Lepster, they've had a strong battle for the league lead in goals, and Brendan Hoffman with 2 tonight. Hoffman now has 4 goals against the Grizzlies this season. Utah got a power play, 12:20 into the first period as Nick Canati got a hooking minor as Maxim Barbashev was skating down the middle of the ice, and Canati just kind of wrangled Barbashev's hands, and he lost his balance, and the Grizzlies got a power play. It was an extended shift by the top power play unit, a shift that lasted 1 minute and 15 seconds. Aiden Hansen-Bukata had the puck in the left point. He fired a lefty shot. Looked like Evan Friesen was trying to redirect it, but it missed Friesen's stick. Benny Loss is not a big goaltender, so I think the Grizzlies believe that they can score high on him. And Hansen-Bukata was able to fire it over Halas's left shoulder. Aiden Hansen-Bukata gets his 3rd goal of the year. It's his first power play goal of the season. Remember, he did score a 3-on-5 shorthanded goal a couple weeks ago in Rapid City. AHB's got 13 power play assists, but he did it with a goal this time, 13:35 in. Reed Lepster picked up his 6th power play assists of the year. And for Tyler Gratton, he's been towards the team lead in power play points. That is Gratton's 13th power play point and 7th power play assists of the year. Then late in the first period, Luke Manning got the puck. He skated around Idaho's net towards the right side, and he just fired it under Benny Halas as he went 5-hole. And after the goal, Luke Manning with a big-time celebration, as that had to feel great as he had missed a month and a half worth of action. We believe he had missed 20 games. He is listed with having a game played on December 31st in Wichita. However, I'm not sure he actually appeared in the game. So for Luke Manning, that had to feel great as he picked up his third goal of the year. He was outstanding in the first 2 weeks of December. That I believe it was in Kansas City, the game where the Grizzlies picked up 7 goals and beat the Mavericks on December 19th, where he suffered the injury. It was a lower body injury, and Luke Manning had been itching to get back. I think during a recent road trip, Luke Manning was behind the bench when the Grizzlies were in Rapid City acting as a coach. And Luke Manning would be a great coach if that's what he decided he wanted to do someday after his playing days are over. Luke Manning still got plenty of playing days left as he picked up his third of the year, and that had to feel great. Reed Lobster and Tyler Gratton each picked up an assist. In terms of shots for the first period, Grizzlies had 9. Danny Genev led the way with 3 shots. He was active throughout, and then 6 other Grizzlies with 1 shot each. If you're watching on Flow Sports, there's the first period stats. As both teams had 1 power play in the first period. Both had 1 power play shot. The Grizzlies found the back of the net, 13-35 on their shot. Scoring chances, Idaho had 8 and Utah had 5. Faceoffs were close to even. Idaho with a 12-11 edge. Hits, there were plenty of them in the first period. Grizzlies with 13 hits and Idaho with 9. And there was also a lot of giveaways. Grizzlies with 7 and Idaho was 6 in the first period. So it was a very action-packed first period. Both teams scored 2 goals, and despite the high number of giveaways, looked like both teams were passing the puck particularly well at times. And boy, there were some sequences there when you saw Idaho's offense go to work, to where you can see why they've got the record they have of 30, 11, and 4. And I think with the Steelheads, they do a great job creating traffic in front of the net, and that's how they contributed to both of their goals. For the Grizzlies, obviously, it's been the power play that's kept them in games and really has won them quite a few games over the last 3 or 4 weeks. And Utah's 1 for 1 on the power play, and I think they would like to see a game that's officiated somewhat tight, because special teams have really been to the Grizzlies' advantage here over the last 3 weeks in particular. And Utah came into play with the 6th best power play in the league, and it just keeps climbing with each power play goal. And obviously, that's where they cut into the lead, making it a 2-1 game, and then Luke Manning tied it up 18:04 in. We would go over the scores of the other games in the league. However, there are no other games in the league, as this is the only pro hockey game going on tonight. No NHL games with the Olympic break, and there's no AHL games with it being the All-Star break. I think their All-Star game is going to take place tomorrow. There will be a decent amount of action on Wednesday night. The Grizzlies will next play on Friday to begin a 3-game series with the Bloomington Bison. So that should be a ton of fun. Make sure to get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com, as Grizzlies will have Wild West night coming up here at Maverik Center. And with that, the Grizzlies are going to be wearing some interesting-looking specialty jerseys, as Wild West night is certainly going to draw a crowd. And I got to imagine the Wild West jerseys are going to be even more successful, more popular than the fishing night jerseys the Grizzlies wore last season. When we come back, we'll go over the Mountain Division standings. We'll also go over the Grizzlies team leaders, as obviously not too many scores to update on. Team USA did get a big victory over Team Canada in women's Olympic hockey, and we're certainly going to be rooting on Team USA and their quest for the gold medal, as they will have a few games later on this week. It'll be interesting on Sunday to see Clayton Keller's Team USA take on JJ Peterka and Team Germany. We'll come back and talk some hockey on the other side. 2 good offensive teams here, and it looks like a very aesthetically pleasing brand of hockey. It's a rare Tuesday game for the Grizzlies, the first Tuesday home game for the Utah in about 4 or 5 years. Once again, we want to apologize to Assistant Equipment Manager Miles Stewart. I had forgotten his name during the pregame introductions. We were going over the lineups for both teams. And so Miles, who's every now and then will come on the ice and he will just dominate action. He had said that he can end up as a goaltender if he need be. I bet he'd be a pretty strong defenseman. He's somebody that could drop the gloves here and there. So, hey, Miles, shout out to you. We've forgotten your name during the pregame introductions, but he's done a great job for the Grizzlies all season. When we come back, we will talk some hockey, as some of the fans are in the concession stands. It's a really good Tuesday crowd. I would say it's a typical Tuesday crowd, but then again, we haven't had a Tuesday home game in a handful of years. After one period, we're tied at 2. As Brendan Hoffman has both of Idaho's goals and Utah's goals from Aiden Hanson-Bucata and Luke Manning. 2 assists each for Reed Webster and Tyler Gratton. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Welcome back to Maverik Center. We're having some fun here on a Tuesday night. Don't forget, this is just the opener of 4 straight at Maverik Center as the Utah Grizzlies will have a 3-game series against the Bloomington Bison this Friday and Saturday night at 7 o'clock. And Monday, February 16th, will be a special 3 p.m. start. Then the Grizzlies will be on the road for 2 straight games against the Allen Americans on February 20th and 21st. Utah returns to Maverik Center for a 3-game set against the Tahoe Night Monsters on February 25th, 27th, and 28th. And don't forget that February 27th and 28th will be Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. We had mentioned Wild West Night, and that's going to be on Friday. And you can get a special ticket offer at UtahGrizzlies.com. It's 2 center ice tickets plus $20 worth of concession vouchers for just $50. So make sure to get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com and take advantage of that great offer for Wild West Night. And make sure to bring your cowboy hat, whatever you interpret for what you would normally wear for a Wild West shootout. It's interesting. I was talking before the game with the Steelheads broadcaster, Justin Russo, the first-year Steelheads broadcaster, and we kind of been talking about the Wild West of the offenses in the Mountain Division, as it seems like just about every offensive club in the Mountain Division has been outstanding, whether it's Kansas City, their 152 goals this season. Idaho obviously leads the league with 169. We saw Tahoe last week. They're a team that can score in bunches. So you're talking about a lot of teams in the Mountain Division. The Grizzlies can certainly lay claim to being one of the better offensive teams in the league as of late. You know, the Grizzlies are averaging 3.2 goals per game, but really if you look at the last 10, the Grizzlies are averaging pretty close to 4 goals per game. We're having some fun here on a Tuesday night. Make sure to join us for some more fun on Friday for Wild West Night. And then obviously Saturday's Valentine's Day. Can't think of a better place to be than right here at Maverik Center. And obviously you can get to know somebody better. You can declare your Valentine here at Maverik Center. And, if you got a significant other, if you got a spouse, this is the perfect place to be. To spend part of Valentine's Day is right here with the Utah Grizzlies. We'll come back and have second period action on the other side. We'll skate 5-on-5 as the Grizzlies and Steelheads both score 2 first-period goals. From my money, one of the best rivalries in the league. It's the next to last Grizzlies-Steelheads showdown. The final Grizzlies and Steelheads battle will also be on a Tuesday night. That's going to be April 7th here at Maverik Center at 7 o'clock. We'll come back and have second period action on the other side. You've been tuned into the first intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. We'll have second period action here shortly as the Grizzlies and Steelheads are tied at 2. Idaho scored the first 2 goals of the game. Brendan Hoffman with his 30th and 31st of the years, 4:28 and 9:12 in. Mitch Wall picked up an assist in both of the Hoffman goals. Aiden Hansen-Bukata got Utah on the board, 13:35 in, with Webster and Grattan getting the assist. And then Luke Manning scored 18:04 in. Webster and Grattan each with 2 assists tonight. Dominic Massey saved 13 of 15 in net. And there was quite a bit of hitting throughout. If you're watching on Flow Sports, there's the Luke Manning goals. He just went 5-hole right under Benny Halas as Manning fired a prayer towards the net, and that had to feel good for a guy that's playing for the first time in the 2026 calendar year. Utah will start the second period with a forward line of Danny Genev with Riley Connors and Maxime Barbashev. And if you joined us late, Barbashev rejoined the Grizzlies yesterday from the AHL's Tucson Roadrunners. The defensive pairing is going to be Luke Salem and Noah Gansky. Idaho will start the second period with the same 5 that started the game. Matt Donnell with Jade Miller and Nick Canati in a defensive pairing of Charlie Dodaro and Jeff Baum. Draw one by the Steelheads as Charlie Dodaro hustles after it in his own zone. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we see it from high atop section 114. Center ice feed off the Connors stick. It goes deep into the Grizzlies zone. Gansky off the glass as the puck will plop deep into Idaho ice. And Halas raises his left arm, and the linesmen raise their right arm. Icing is on Utah, 18 seconds into the second period. So on Utah's first goal, it looks like there's been an assist change. Instead of Tyler Grattan getting the assist, they have now given the assist to Evan Friesen. So just one assist for Grattan in the first period. Evan Friesen picked up his 12th assist of the year, and that was on the Aiden Hansen-Bukata power play goal, 13:35. And so they switch one of the assists. Gansky fires it off the top of the glass, and it goes all the way down for a Utah icing. 2 Utah icings here in the first 24 seconds of the second period. And the draw is going to come back towards Dominic Massey. Great to have Noah Gansky back in the lineup. He missed Saturday's game. Remember, Gansky got cross-checked hard and high late in the third period. It looked like it shook him up a little bit, and I'm guessing that's why he wasn't in the lineup. Connors will take the face-off for the third time here in the second period against Jade Miller. Draw one by Connors and the Grizzlies. Luke Salem will whip the puck around the boards. McDonnell gets brushed away by Danny Genev. As Baum will fire it back around the wall. Bassey plays it behind his net. Bassey, the big 6'6" goaltender. Salem gets hit by Nick Canati. And don't let the size of Canati fool you. He can hit just about as hard as anybody in the league. Left wing Miller, lefty shot, he scores. Jade Miller was all alone in the left circle. He roofed it over the shoulder of Bassey. Jade Miller gets his 12th of the year, and just like that, it's now a 3-2 Idaho lead. Boy, Miller got the puck and just skated towards the circle with momentum. He just snapped it right over Bassey. For Jade Miller, he's in his 4th season as a Steelhead. He had 6 goals exactly in each of his last 2 years. He had 16 goals for the Steelheads back in the 2022-23 campaign. Miller with the goal, 45 seconds into the second period. And Angus McDonnell with the lone assist. He gets his 14th of the year. So 3 goals on 16 shots for Idaho. And it's a 3-2 game for the Grizzlies. They just got to keep battling, as obviously a team like Idaho, they're going to make their plays. Grizzlies come back the other way. Well in the offensive zone over towards Sage Weinstein off of John Gillette's stick, and it hits the outside of the Idaho cage. As Connor punt it, he'll tap it ahead. One of the linesmen jumps out of the way. Holmes goes down there, and he gets dragged by Weinstein. That's going to be a penalty on Weinstein as he dragged down Holmes. Icing was waved off. Now the puck kicks off of Weinstein, and Holmes. Well, there's a little bit of a cross-check to the front side of Weinstein. Weinstein's probably hoping that Holmes would lose his cool enough to get a penalty. It looks like, well, who's the penalty on? It's going to be on Weinstein. As they were Holmes was trying to wave off the icing. Weinstein was trying to get icing. Looked like you could have called it either way. And then Weinstein and Holmes each hit the ice. And according to the 2 referees, or at least the one that made the call, they say that Weinstein dragged down Holmes. So Sage Weinstein, the 20-year-old, who spent a good 3 or 4 weeks in the AHL with the Colorado Eagles. He had 1 goal in 3 games for Colorado. As Weinstein takes a seat in the box. Sage Weinstein sporting a mustache. He scored his first pro goal with Colorado on January 17th against Henderson. So the 2 referees are talking it over. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. And it's going to be a 2-minute penalty on Sage Weinstein. Idaho had 1 power play shot in their lone power play in the first period. So Weinstein gets 2 minutes for tripping. 1:13 into the second period. As Robbie Holmes, the big 6'2", 202-pound forward, he got dragged down. James Kraft was the referee that made the call. 2 referees tonight. It's the only game in the league this evening. A handful of games on Wednesday, but the Grizzlies won't play till Friday. Idaho with the 3-2 lead. Malmquist off a Grizzly, and it goes into the Steelhead zone. Jeff Baum is being shadowed by Tyler Gratton. Baum gets around Idaho's net with ease. Gratton on the back check, but Baum's able to drop it back for Caleb Pearson. Pearson crosses center ice, steps over the offensive line, trying to get around 2 Grizzlies. Now towards Hoffman on hat trick watch. He was looking for a toe drag. Grizzlies took it away. Puck towards the right point of the Grizzlies zone. Webster slides it back to neutral ice. Liam Malmquist with 15 goals this season, 5'10", 170 pounds. He'll roll the puck along the boards. Mitch Ball on the right wing gets up top to Jeff Baum. Baum back towards Malmquist in the left wing near the boards. Malmquist ricocheted off the wall to Baum, who slides it to his right. Now back to Baum. He directs it to his left for Malmquist. Malmquist feeds to the left goal line. Now back up top to Malmquist just outside the circle. Cross ice pass to Baum, who fakes a 1-timer. Over to Ty Pelton-Bice, over to Baum. He fakes a slap shot and drops to the left corner for Malmquist. Back to Baum. Baum over towards the right side. Pearson, he fires it off the crossbar. And the iron unkind, as well, that was a close call there as Idaho's looking to make it 4-2. It's 3-2 now. Down the middle of the ice, Pearson, slap shot, and it's blocked by Colby Enns. As the Grizzlies on the bench, they slam their sticks in approval of Colby Enns' block shot. Now high slot, Baum with a right lefty shot, and that's ricocheted off a Grizzly stick. Ty Pelton-Bice to the left goal line. Webster challenges him as Bice gets up top. Still had to switch out a couple skaters. Malmquist over to Pearson. 1-timer and a score. That is Brendan Hoffman, and if you're an Idaho fan, take your hat and chuck it as far as you can. Hoffman gets his 3rd of the game. They want to keep the puck for him. And it's now a 4-2 game. Brendan Hoffman on a sharp angle went stick side over the right shoulder of Dominic Bassey. They collected the puck for Brendan Hoffman as he gets his 3rd of the game and 32nd of the season. We had highlighted the top 2 goal scorers in the league. Hoffman's got 3 goals, and Reed Webster's got 2 assists on the Utah side. Hoffman with the goal on the 1-timer from just near the left goal line. The assists go to Liam Malmquist, who gets his 9th power play assist of the year. And Charlie Dodaro now has a multiple-point game as he picks up his 2nd assist. So 2 unanswered second period goals for Idaho as Brendan Hoffman extends his league lead. He now has 32 on the campaign. Grizzlies looking for a comeback bid as they are trying to regain momentum. It was a power play goal scored by Idaho. Both teams have a power play goal tonight. Manning over the offensive blue, dangling back and forth. He gets hit by Kanadi. Puck rolls towards the right wing as Salem gets hit in the back. Salem trying to muscle his way towards the right corner. Colella in the area, along with Luke Manning. Manning's got an A on his sweater. It's near his left chest. As Colella over towards Manning, who gets on the right side, takes a lefty shot that goes wide. Wallart, left wing, he fires a prayer towards the net, and it's unanswered. Salem to the right side, back towards Colella, who tried to feed it to Manning, who couldn't reach it. Wallart left wing, he helicopters one, and it's off of Jake Boltman. Now a Steelhead goes down. That's going to be another Idaho power play. Colella can't believe it, but he's going to get 2 minutes for tripping. Grizzlies bench can't believe it. Boy, and Utah trying to get momentum back in this game. It's now going to be shorthanded again. Colella, the native of New Jersey, can't believe it. As the Steelhead fell down, and that's what the referee spotted. Let's see the replay. Now, Colella got the right ankle of the Steelhead. And so if you're a neutral observer, you'd say it was a pretty good call. As Mikey Colella, coincidentally enough, is sitting next to Santa Claus in the penalty box. As this penalty is 3:43 into the second period. As Idaho leads 4-2, both teams have a power play goal, and the Grizzlies are looking to find a way to regain momentum in this game. They're hoping that a successful penalty kill will do just that. Idaho gets the puck in the right wing. Caleb Pearson drops it back for Jeff Baum. Over to Malmquist just outside the left circle. Feathers one off the Utah stick as the puck goes towards the left corner. Caleb Pearson over in the right point. He'll tap it off the boards. Evan Friesen gets it. Friesen 1-on-3. Skates towards the left circle. Grizzlies make a change around him. Friesen trying to hold on to the puck for as long as he can before Liam Malmquist takes it away. Malmquist races across center ice. Got good speed. Fancy pass towards his left for Bice off the boards. Now it's taken back by Hoffman, who's already got 3 goals tonight. He's already done enough. Pearson over to the right corner. Avoids a Weinstein check. As Weinstein hits a Steelhead in the back. No call there. Malmquist gets it to the middle of the ice for Charlie Dodaro, who's already got 2 assists. Pelton Bice across to Hoffman. Shot saved by Bassey. Hoffman fired a one-timer looking for his 4th goal of the night. And it ricocheted off the chest of Bassey. And Bassey was able to recover after it kind of dropped in front of him. Didn't drop too far in front of him, and he was able to make the stop. As there's 15:18 left in the second and 1:01 left in the Idaho power play. Hoffman was more in the circle than the power play goal they scored a few minutes ago, where that one was more towards, he was standing more towards the goal line. Idaho switches up skaters as Charlie Dodaro drops it back as Jordan Steinmetz will feed it to the left goal line. Cross crease pass by Mitch Walls picked off by Gansky. Will tattoo it off the near wing boards all the way deep into the Steelhead zone. Benny Aloss looking for his first victory as a Steelhead. Will drop it for Charlie Dodaro as he'll feed a long-range left wing pass. Kicks off a linesman Colin Kleinendorf. Now Dodaro dancing around Charlie is his first name. His brother Chris is on the bench for the Steelheads right now wearing number 55. Charlie Dodaro feeds Diz right for Wall, who will plop it into the right corner as Mac Donnell pushes ends towards the boards. Danny Genev gets it. Grizzlies have numbers if they want it. Genev 3-on-2 to Gansky over the offensive blue. Drops it back for Genev. Right wing toe drag. Keeps the puck. He fires lefty shot and goes high over Halaz and out of play. Boy, what a beautiful move by Genev. And he just tried to, off the toe drag, lift it over Halaz's right shoulder, but got too much air under it. Puck skipped off the protective netting with 13 seconds left in Idaho's power play and 14:30 left in the second. Fancy move by Genev, who's got an extra bounce to his step. He was in training camp with Idaho prior to this season, and he was outstanding in 2 preseason games against the Grizzlies. And I was a bit surprised that he was available in a trade before the year to the Grizzlies. Genev's been outstanding. He's one of the favorites for the league's Rookie of the Year award. Chris Dodaro races across center ice. He's not as big as Charlie, but maybe has a step in terms of quickness over his brother. As Nick Canati to the left wing, he'll take a lefty shot, saved by Bassey. Out of the box is Mikey Colella as he joins the play. As Grizzlies have it with Boisvert ahead to center ice for Manning. Manning drops it for John Gillette. Gillette in the left wing. He gets hit by Sam Jardine. As John Gillette, the first-year pro, at a Holy Cross. Luke Salem fires to the middle of the ice. It's blocked by Jardine. Now John Gillette, he takes a lefty shot, and it's blocked by Pelton Bice. Actually, Hershucking out of play. John Gillette's got a goal in 2 straight games. 13:56 is left in the second period. Idaho scored 2 unanswered, including Brendan Hoffman's 3rd of the game. Grizzlies looking for a comeback bid on the other side as Idaho leads 4-2. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverik Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, we made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down, we go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
"13 minutes and 56 seconds left in the second period. Idaho leads 4-2. The Steelheads have second period goals from Jade Miller and Brendan Hoffman. Both of those guys score from the left wing. As Utah's looking to gain momentum back, Idaho wins the draw. It's in the Steelhead zone. Weinstein delivers a push on Christodero. Now Christodero hits Weinstein up high as Aiden Hershuk ahead to Nick Canati. Canati right wing, look to center. It kicks off a Grizzly skate, and that was Colby Enns. As puck ricochets towards Enns, who gets it ahead to Mike Gillette. Mike Gillette strides along the right wing over the offensive line as he tried to get ahead towards Schreifels near the boards. And the Steelheads clear it back to center ice. Noah Gansky skates back to the Utah blue line, gets ahead to Mike Gillette, who will fire it off the chest of Jardine. Jardine across towards Nick Canati, the Idaho captain, back to Jardine, who left wing skips to Jade Miller. As Gansky challenges Miller. Now Hershuk back to center ice for Gansky, who sweeps along the boards. Grizzlies will switch up forwards. Kennedy stays on the ice for the time being as Idaho will get it out to center ice. Now Kennedy's going to be replaced. Idaho, Caleb Pearson gets the Pelton Bice off the boards. Back to Pearson, who gets pushed by Salem wearing number 6. Connor Punnett, left wing, gets in deep. Redirection saved by Bassey. Boy, that's a great stop as Punnett found Malmquist and just kind of ricocheted off of Malmquist's stick, and Bassey was able to collect it about chest high. Boy, that's a tricky save, and Bassey made it with ease. Punted off of Malmquist, and then Bassey just kind of slid a little bit towards his right and was able to collect the puck off his chest and keep it there without allowing a second chance. Boy, that's one of those sharp saves that you got to be alive, awake, and alert to make. And Dominic Bassey was just that. Face-off won by Idaho. They've outshot Utah 6-1 here in the second period. As Lepster battles with Punnett, and the puck will wobble back towards the Idaho blue line. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we see it from section 114. Connor Punnett whips the puck along the boards. Weinstein reverses it, kicks off the skate of the referee. Now the Grizzlies will sweep it up and not out. Boltman to Punnett, who fakes a slap shot, gets it back towards Pearson. Now Boltman wanted the puck and gets to the right circle where it's taken away by Evan Friesen. Friesen nudges ahead as Friesen gets hit by Caleb Pearson. We get a whistle, and I think the Grizzlies might be offside, although it is the referee. Penalty is going to be called. It's going to be a slash, and who's it going to be on? It's going to be on Caleb Pearson. Pearson gets 2 minutes for interference, as Caleb Pearson will serve penalty minutes number 56 and 57 on the season. And he gets 2 minutes for interference as Friesen was skating near the Grizzlies bench and got hit by Pearson. But Friesen had already dumped it in before Pearson hit him. Caleb Pearson can't believe it, but he's in the box for 2 minutes. Grizzlies are hoping it's less than 2 minutes because that would mean a goal had been scored. It's Grizzlies' second power play of the night. Obviously, they're 1-for-1 on the man advantage. They only had one shot in that 1 minute and 15-second stretch where they were on the power play. But they made it count with Aiden Hansen-Buchanan. Grizzlies won the draw as Noah Gansky with the puck. Something might be wrong with AHB as Gansky's taken over Hansen-Buchanan's place in the power play. Haven't seen AHB in the second period. Gansky back towards Genev. He's in the right wing. Genev gets it back up top to Gansky. Over to Lepster. One-timer saved by Halaz. Puck up the opposite towards the right goal line. It's taken by Nick Canati. And Canati will fire it off the glass. It goes over Lepster's head and all the way back towards Dominic Bassey deep in the Grizzlies zone. Minute and a half left in Utah's power play. as they've only had one power play shot officially tonight. Genev races on the right wing at center ice. Gets around Steinmetz. Genev stops in the right corner. Gets it across. It's ricocheted off of Hershuk, sticking back to neutral ice. Gansky back in his own zone. Will drop it for Lepster. Reed Lepster with 6 power play goals this season. Left wings out to Gratton, who gets around Wall. Now Lepster tried to keep it in the high slot, but the whistle blows. Utah's offside as the puck squirted back to neutral ice. So faceoff's going to be near Utah's bench. And I think with that power play, normally you'd see Aiden Hansen-Bucata out there. And I think Bucata's out there right there at the center ice near the bench area. He's kind of leaning towards the boards. Boy, remember Aiden Hansen-Bucata blocked a shot late in Saturday's game in Tahoe. And, he played the whole first period, but it looks like he's unable to go here in the second. We haven't seen him in the second period. Gansky took over his spot on the power play units. Grizzlies with a fresh 5-man unit as Barbashev gets up top, but it goes past Riley Connors. Utah's got a party of 5 of Connors, Barbashev, Luke Manning, John Gillette, and Luke Salem. Luke spelled their names a little bit differently. Luke Salem, L-U-C, and then Luke Manning, L-U-K-E. Salem gets the puck. He's on the left side. Now he skates in the middle of the ice, walks to Manning. Manning right side of the lefty shot. Glove saved by Halas. Boy, Manning had all the time and space. He was just raiding Halas. Fired a lefty shot, but Halas made a glove save. 10:50s left in the second. And there's 36 seconds left in the power play. Well, you kind of see a drill towards the end of morning skate where you get a bunch of guys around a goaltender and take shots just like what Manning took. Halas was able to glove it. Benny Halas is saved. But for whatever reason, according to the scoreboard, they didn't give Manning a shot there. Grizzlies are still stuck at 10 shots. I guess they're determining that the shot would have gone wide had Halas not gloved it. Connors with the puck on the left side. He's in the circle, drop it as Barbashev across looking for Manning, but it's knifed away by a Steelhead on the way from Barbashev to Manning. Now Manning gets the puck in the right corner. He's double-teamed by Canadi and Punnett. Manning feeds up top to Connors, who solicits it back to Manning. Now it's the left point for Salem, who gets to Connors. Connors will switch places with Salem. He'll accelerate towards the left circle. Now Connors in the left corner. He's got great speed. Riley Connors now outside the left circle. He fires a righty shot that goes wide. Coming out of the box is Caleb Pearson, and the bench tells Pearson to join the play. As Barbashev towards the left wing, drops for Manning, who has to play soccer off his skate. Puck goes to Nick Canadi, and he will sky it just under the video board as goes back towards the right corner of the Grizzlies zone. Now to punt it down the middle of the ice to take a lefty shot, and it's sticked away by Bassey as Brendan Hoffman gets held up by Connors. Puck around the boards behind Bassey as Sean Kennedy gets a good shoulder check from Cristodero. Right wing shot saved by Bassey. And he will hold on as there's 9:42 left in the second. That last shot was taken by Brendan Hoffman, who's already got 3 goals tonight. So we're past the halfway point of this scheduled 60-minute affair. Idaho got 2 first-period goals from Brendan Hoffman, 4:28 in and 9:12 in. Grizzlies got a power play goal from Aiden Hansen-Bucata, who hasn't been on the ice here in the second period. He scored 13:35 in. Luke Manning, in his first game of the 2026 calendar year, scored 18:04 in. In the second period, Jade Miller scored from the left wing 45 seconds in. As the Grizzlies will rainbow it out to center ice, it's plopped off the chest of Jeff Baum. Will backhand it in deep into the Grizzlies zone. Weinstein chasing after it, no icing. Brendan Hoffman scored 2:50 into the second period on a power play to complete the hat trick, and that's where we sit after half of this 60 minutes. There's 9:20 on a moving clock. Puck off a Gillette skate. Mike Gillette, that is. Idaho rolls along the boards as Utah's rolling with 5 defensemen right now with Hansen-Bucata out of the lineup. Right wing shot. That's sticked away by Bassey. Now puck to the right wing as our Curry will skate to the corner. He tries to get around Gansky. Our Curry gets around Utah's net and he'll backhand it to the left point for Baum. Baum around the boards towards Mitch Wall. Will feed it to the right corner. And Henri Schreifels will throw it. And it hits off the catwalk. Somehow missed the catwalk. That thing was about 10 feet from the roof and ricocheted in play. Wherever that puck landed, there's probably a huge dent in the ice. Now Lepster down the middle of the ice, skates towards the left wing, drops it left side, shot, a score! Lepster to Friesen to the back of the net. Evan Friesen now has a goal in 4 straight games, and it's now a 4-3 game. Boy, Lebster just raced down the middle of the ice with momentum, veered off to the left circle, dropped it for Friesen. Reed Lebster gets his third assist of the night. And Friesen just fired a lefty shot, stick side pass to Laws. Evan Friesen is now second on the club with 15 goals this year. And for Reed Lebster, that is his third assist of the game and 17th of the year. And right now, Lebster has the lone assist. It's now Idaho 4, Utah 3, as Friesen scored 11:26 into the second period. Puck goes deep in the Grizzlies zone. Utah's trying to keep momentum after the goal, and Idaho's trying to get it back. Idaho wraparound shot, and it's blocked by Friesen's stick. As puck along the boards towards the right wing. Steinmetz off his stick. Grattan hustles after it, but Steinmetz recollects it. Now Steinmetz held up along the boards by Gansky. Right wing centering pass is collected by Bassey and McDonnell. And Poilard, the two number 27s, get after it in front of the crease. They're both exchanging a few words. But Poilard's a guy I'm not sure I'd want to mess with. He is a very strong 6'2", 225 pounds. He got in a fight, I think, one of the most recent home games and held his own. Also got in a fight in Tahoe, I believe, and held his own there as well. And now both the number 27s, Poilard for the Grizzlies and McDonnell, cease and desist and go their separate ways. There's Hanson Buchanan. We haven't seen him in the second period. It looks like he's on door opening watch. Boy, that's certainly a shame, as Hanson Buchanan was outstanding in the first period. But he hasn't played here in the second. Idaho right wing shot. Bassey had some traffic with Robbie Holmes. The shot was blocked before it got to Bassey. Less than 8 minutes left in the second period. It's 4-3. Idaho's in front. Brendan Hoffman has 3 goals, and Reed Lebster has 3 assists on the Utah side. As Utah got first period goals from Hanson Buchanan and Manning, and a second period goal from Friesen. Kanadi towards the right wing, gets around Weinstein. Weinstein lifts Kanadi's stick. Good defensive play by the 20-year-old former Spokane Chief. Now Barbashev gets some lumber towards a Steelhead, and Robbie Holmes. Grizzlies get it 2-on-2. Barbashev moves to his right. Now he steps over the offensive line onside as he stops on the right point. Gets it across to Gansky. Gansky centering pass. Shot to score! Riley Connors ties it up. He gets his 10th of the year, and it's now a 4-4 game. Boy, Connors gets the goal, but the play was definitely made by Barbashev. He got it in deep in front of the net to Gansky, and Gansky with a beautiful pass in front of the crease to Connors. Barbashev moved it to the left side for Gansky. What a nice pass by Gansky. Backhand feed to the front of the crease to Connors, and Riley Connors slid it under Halaz. So Riley Connors gets his 10th of the year. Gansky with the main assist. He now has 8 on the year. And Maxime Barbashev picks up his 7th assist. So how about that? Riley Connors, who had 4 goals in the 3-game set in Tahoe last week. And the first 2 periods are carbon copies of each other. Idaho with the first 2 goals of the frame. Then the Grizzlies responded with 2 unanswered. Idaho with 2 goals to make it 4-2. And the Grizzlies respond with 2 unanswered. Evan Friesen, 11:26 in. And a minute and 16 seconds later, it's Riley Connors, 12:42 on a beautiful backhand feed to the front of the crease from Noah Gansky. As we're tied at 4, we've got ourselves a high-scoring affair and a very entertaining game here at Maverik Center. First Tuesday home game in just about 5 years. As Salem fires it in deep, and we got a goaltender change. The former Grizzly, Jake Barczewski's in net. Barczewski replaces Benny Halaz. As Jake Barczewski, he led the Grizzlies in victories this season. It's his 15th game of the year. He's got a record of 9-3-1. As Jake Barczewski is in net, second-year pro. Barczewski, remember, was acquired by the Grizzlies early in the season, immediately released, and then he was signed by the Steelheads. So Barczewski makes his return to Maverik Center, second time he's faced the Grizzlies this season. He made his Steelheads debut against Utah in a 4-3 loss on November 15th. Puck towards the near goal line of the Steelhead zone, and it's rolled towards Liam Malmquist. And Malmquist gets it ahead to center ice. Weinstein off his stick as it goes to Malmquist. Malmquist at center ice, loses control. Trifles with the puck. He gets it ahead to Mike Gillette. Gillette to the right side. He fires a righty shot, and it's blocked by the skate of Connor Punnett. Puck to the left wing. Schreifels gets it. He's in the left corner. Fired a sharp-angled shot, and it's blocked by the stick of a Steelhead, and that was Connor punted again. Mike Gillette rolls it towards Schreifels, who gets to the left wing. Lefty shot by Kennedy, and that's blocked by Boltman. Boy, Idaho with at least 3 or 4 deflections by their defensive pairing here in this shift. Idaho will plop it deep into the Grizzlies zone. Puck got some air under it. Wallar gets it ahead along the near wing boards to Mike Gillette. Gillette gets back checked, and he gets pushed towards the boards. He got pushed pretty hard by Cristodero. Schreifels gets after it with Cristodero as Hoffman drops it back, and the Grizzlies will fire back deep into the Steelhead zone. Baum and Schreifels collide in the far corner. As action towards the corner, both teams jostling for position. As Schreifels gets hit in the back. Lepster looking nearby. And now the puck goes towards Lepster down the middle of the ice. Righty shot, rebound shot, a score! Reed Lepster gets his 27th of the year. He has 4 points tonight, and the Grizzlies take a 5-4 lead. Boy, the Grizzlies are playing like they're on the road tonight. How about Reed Lepster? Bouncing off of Marcheski, got it back. And Reed Lepster fired it past his former teammates. And what is it about Reed Lepster against the Steelheads? That's his second 4-point game against the Steelheads this year. First attempt bounced off the left pad of Marcheski. And Lepster on the second attempt got it past the goal line. 3 unanswered for the Grizzlies here in the second period. It's 3 goals in the span of 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Friesen and Henri Schreifels will each pick up an assist. So everybody's just kind of hanging out at center ice. I don't know if they're going to take an extra look at it. Not sure why. I think Idaho's going to use their one timeout. Timeout Idaho, as I think it's Keenan Kelly that is yelling at the Steelheads bench. As the Steelheads want to stop the Grizzlies' momentum. Timeout Idaho. What a crazy 2-period stretch we've had here at Maverik Center. And how about Reed Lepster? He gets his 4th point tonight. 3 assists. Now he gets his 27th goal of the year. He's been scoring them in bunches. And for the Grizzlies, they got down 4-2, and they just kept battling. They didn't, Jerry Sloan, the old Jazz head coach, used to say you can't go around feeling sorry for yourself. When you play a team like the Steelheads, they're going to make their plays. But you just got to keep battling. And the Grizzlies just kept plugging away. And Utah, who have been scoring in bunches as of late, they had 19 goals in the 3-game series against Tahoe, and they've got 5 goals on 15 shots here tonight against the Steelheads. Reed Lepster with 1 goal and 3 assists. Evan Friesen, 1 goal and 2 assists. And the first shot that Jake Marcheski saw, he made it a save off his left pad, but then it was the second shot by Lepster that finds the back of the net. As it's a 5-4 Grizzlies lead, action deep in the Grizzlies zone. As a scrum towards the left corner, Jardine skates back to the point. As there's 4 Grizzlies and 2 Steelheads over in the left corner deep in the Grizzlies zone. Weinstein trying to hack it away. Now the puck goes from one corner to the other. Hershuk gets up top to Robbie Holmes. Holmes back to Hershuk up top to Jardine in the left point. And he'll whip the puck around the boards towards the right side as Idaho tried to drop it back for Hershuk. Hershuk battling with Friesen out top to Jardine. He fires lefty shot. It gets redirected and in for a score. And just like that, we're tied at 5. And this roller coaster affair is typical of what you'd see in a Grizzlies Steelheads game. It's the power forward, Robbie Holmes, who skates to the celebration aisle first. Jardine took the shot into traffic, and then Holmes had to redirect off his stick 5-hole under Bassey. So Robbie Holmes gets his 7th goal of the year, and the off-ice officials and the people taking stats have had their work cut out for him here in the first 36 minutes of this game. Grizzlies 5 goals on 15 shots. Idaho 5 goals on 25 shots. And what a crazy game we've had so far. As both teams had 2 goals in the first period, both have 3 here in the second. Holmes scored 15:43 in with Jardine getting the lone assist. So probably add an assist to a Steelhead. It looked like they worked the puck around. Genev centers it. Barczewski lost his balance, but Idaho is able to poke it away. As crossing center ice and dumping it into the corners, Nick Canati. As Canati collides with Riley Connors. As a Grizzly goes heels overhead, and that was Gansky who's trying to get back to his feet. Salem in the area. Idaho, they try to move it towards the right side. It's off the stick. Now back towards Punnett, just outside the left circle. He fires lefty shot and ricochets it off of Jade Miller. Miller slashes Connors, but no call. As Punnett goes down as he got hit by Barbashev. Punnett lost his stick. Now he's going to skate towards the bench. He's going to get a new stick from equipment manager Chris Bestel, the beast who's been around as long as the Steelheads franchise. Genev, the right wing at center ice, as Salem gets belted by Punnett. That's going to be a penalty, as Punnett trying to tell Salem he didn't mean to do it. But I think Utah's going to get a power play with 3:11 left in the second, as Punnett collided with Luke Salem, and it looks like it's going to be an interference minor. Grizzlies will be on the power play when we come back. Boy, you having fun yet tonight? Utah 5, Idaho 5. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Well, it's a power play for Utah with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left in the second period as Connor Punnett gets 2 minutes for cross-checking. Even though it looked like the interference signal was the one that popped up. So the Grizzlies will look for their second power play goal of the game. Utah is 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Idaho is 1 for 3. As referee Curtis Pare is talking with the captains of both teams. Nick Canati, who seems to be pretty heated, and Tyler Gratton doesn't seem to be quite as heated. All that's actually Jade Miller. Nick Canati, the Idaho captain, is actually hanging out. He'll be on this penalty kill unit as Jade Miller yelling with both referees. Miller doesn't seem to be happy. Now he gives a thumbs up towards referee James Kraft as Miller will take the draw for Idaho. It'll be Evan Friesen taking the face off. Friesen's out there with Webster, Gratton, Gansky, and Danny Genev. Draw one by Utah as a stick goes breaking. That was Friesen's stick that broke. He gets a new one from DJ McFarland. As puck towards the left corner. As Baum and Lepster collide. Now the puck's taken by Reed Lepster up top towards Gansky. Gansky fires a righty shot, gets redirected and goes over the crossbar, ricocheting off the glass. Jake Barczewski's in net, the former Grizzly. It's the second time he's faced his former team. He replaced Benny Halaz, who gave up 4 goals in about 13 shots. Idaho throws it back deep in the Grizzlies zone. Bassey plays behind his net. A minute and 26 seconds left in the Utah power play. Lepster will move it back to Genev to the middle of the ice. He crosses center. Now he veers off to the left. Genev throws it between the legs for Lepster, and it goes out back to neutral ice. Grant will skate back towards the Utah blue line. He'll drop it for Gansky. We haven't seen Aiden Hansen-Bukata in the second period as Gansky takes over AHB spot on this power play. Lepster trying to get around 4 Steelheads. Now he moves to the left point for Gratton. Across to Friesen, now to Gansky. Gansky righty shot. Saved by Barczewski. And he holds on to the butterfly position with 58 seconds left in the power play. Grizzlies will make a line change, and so will the Steelheads. So we know the final score is going to be at least 6-5, and we got over a period worth of hockey left. So a new 5-man unit for the Grizzlies. We'll have Barbashev, Manning, and John Gillette, with Manning taking the face-off, and Riley Connors out there with Luke Salem. Those are the 2 up top. Manning, before his injury in mid-December, is taking a lot of the key face-offs of the Grizzlies. Tonight, it's been a lot of Friesen, Connors, and Manning taking the draws for Utah, and a little bit of Sean Kennedy mixed in. Faceoff goes towards the right corner. John Gillette battles. Now Manning, who's already got one goal tonight, trying to get up top. It's taken away by Ty Pelton Bice. Now it's Caleb Pearson, number 8. Pearson over towards Pelton Bice in the left wing. Bice will bounce it off the bar of Barbashev. As Caleb Pearson will skate back towards the Idaho blue line. Now get it to Pelton Bice. And he'll skip it deep off the near wing boards, deep in the Grizzlies zone. 30 seconds left in Utah's power play and a minute 40 on a moving clock here in the second period. We're tied at 5. Both teams with 2 first-period goals, and both have 3 in the second period. Connors negotiates his way around 3 Steelheads. Now Salem back to Barbashev, who's got 1 assist tonight. Barbashev up top to Salem, across to Connors, but the puck goes back to neutral ice. So Grizzlies reset. Salem at center ice. He'll zip the puck around the boards. Manning tries to collect the skipping puck and does so with good hands as he's battling with Jardine. Jardine drags down Manning. As coming out of the box is Connor Punnett. Punnett will just kind of hang out at neutral ice. Now Punnett cherry picking, but couldn't get but Krista Darrow gets it towards Punnett in the right side. Punnett will feed it towards the middle of the ice, bouncing puck. Hoffman couldn't collect it as John Gillette dove towards the middle of the ice to try to cut it off. 50 seconds left in the period as Baum moves it towards the right side. Shot hits the crossbar, and that shot was taken by Charlie Dodaro. He's already got 2 assists tonight. Wraparound shot by Idaho goes wide, and the puck is cleared back towards the Idaho blue line. Jeff Baum runs it down. Grizzlies will switch up forwards. Up ahead as tapped in by Brendan Hoffman, who's got 3 goals tonight. Grizzlies skate around their net. Enns will skip it off the Lebster onto Grattan. Grattan to the right point, stops. He fires lefty shot. Glove saved by Barcheski as Grattan kind of fired a changeup that confused the Idaho goaltender. Maybe a little bit of a knuckle puck, but Barcheski is able to collect it with 19.8 seconds left in the second. As Evan Friesen talking things over with Tyler Grattan. Looks like Grattan's got a thick goatee. Maybe a little bit of a beard mixed in, though, although it looks like more of a goatee than a beard. For Evan Friesen, he's been sporting a mustache for most of this season, and a pretty good one at that. Grizzlies 5 goals on 17 shots. Idaho 5 goals on 25 shots. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. This has been a wild game. And Wild West night will be on Friday, but it looks like tonight is where we get the Wild West offensive shootout. Friesen's kicked out of the face-off circle. Tyler Grattan will take the draw. I mean, you could say it's a beard, but it doesn't go high enough on the cheeks to kind of call it a beard. I'd say it's a goatee. Draw goes into the right corner off an Idaho stick, and Barcheski tries to cover up, and he does, as the puck was just kind of laying on the net, the outside of it, and Barcheski is able to make the stop with 13.6 seconds left. Well, AHB unable to go in the second period. Hopefully, maybe he'll be able to give some shifts in the third period. The Grizzlies right now are rolling with 5 defensemen. So they're kind of switching the defensive pairings quite a bit. Right now it's Enns and Boilar on the ice. Puck won by Idaho, and they'll tattoo it off the near boards. It hits the top of the wall and goes out of play. And so no delay of game. As the officials will get a new puck as there's 8.4 seconds left in the second. The off-ice officials have had their work cut out for them over the first 2 periods, and boy, we've had our work cut out for us here as we've got a ton of, stuff to talk about during the second intermission. In each of the 2 periods, Idaho scored the first 2 goals in the frame, and then the Grizzlies responded with at least 2. They actually scored 3 unanswered in the second period. Shot off the draw, saved by Barcheski. Now there's 6.1 seconds left in the second. Kind of recap the stars. Reed Lebster, 1 goal and 3 assists. Evan Friesen, 1 goal and 2 assists. Luke Manning, Riley Connors each have a goal. Aiden Hansen-Buchanan with that first period power play goal. As we said, he hasn't been out there in the second period. He's been kind of on door duty. Idaho wins the draw, and they will sky it 4 deep into the Grizzlies zone. Would be icing, but time runs out. And so we have seen 40 wild minutes of hockey here at Maverik Center. Grizzlies with 5 goals on 18 shots. Idaho with 5 goals on 25 shots. Brendan Hoffman has 3 goals for the Steelheads. Sam Jardine's got 2 assists. And the Grizzlies have gotten contributions from quite a few players in their top 2 forward lines. Danny Genev doesn't have a point tonight, but he leads Utah with 4 shots on goal. So both teams will head to their respective dressing rooms, and the fans here at Maverik Center are getting their money's worth. No doubt about that. As Jake Barczewski, the former Grizzlies, in net for Idaho as he replaced Benny Halaz after Utah's 4th goal. We'll come back and try to recap the first 2 periods. It's certainly going to be tough with as much action as we've seen. And we'll also go over some scores from around the world of sports. It's the only pro hockey game tonight. The NHL is off on Olympic break, and the AHL is on their all-star break. We'll come back and talk some hockey as we've seen a crazy one here at Maverik Center. It's the Utah Grizzlies 5 and the Idaho Steelheads 5. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Welcome back to Maverik Center. We're through 2 periods. We got a shootout going on here at Maverik Center. I think a few adult league players are invested in a shootout. And it looks like they're interviewing the winner of this shootout. It looks like everybody's having a good time here on the Maverik Center ice, and we've been treated to a very entertaining game as we are tied at 5 after 40 minutes of play. Idaho with a shot advantage of 25-18. Steelheads got on the board first, 4:28 in, as Brendan Hoffman got his 30th of the year, as Chris Tadero took a shot from the left wing. It was saved by Bassey. It ricocheted off of Bassey, and then Brendan Hoffman was just at the right goal line, centered it off of Bassey's stick and into the back of Utah's net for Idaho's first goal. That was 4:28 into the first. And then Brendan Hoffman scored again, 9-12 in. The original shot was taken by Sam Jardine. It ricocheted off of Bassey, and it was maybe the third hack by Hoffman that found the back of the net as he was battling with Colby Enns. And that gave Idaho a 2-0 lead, 9-12 in. Aiden Hansen-Bukata fired away from the left point on a power play. It was Utah's only power play shot in 1 minute, 15 seconds, but AHP found the back of the net for his 3rd of the year. Webster and Friesen with the assist. It was a power play goal, and that made it a 2-1 game. Both teams are 1 for 3 on the power play so far tonight. Luke Manning in his first game in the 2026 calendar year. He had missed close to 20 games. He skated around Idaho's net and just fired it from the right circle right under Benny Halaz, as Manning got his 3rd of the year. Webster and Tyler Gratton each picked up the assists on the Aiden Hansen-Bukata first period goal. Originally, Gratton had gotten credited with an assist. They had switched it over and gave it to Evan Friesen. Score was tied at 2 after 1 period. Idaho took a 3-2 lead as Jade Miller scored 45 seconds into the second period. It's Miller time here on a Tuesday night, as Jade Miller with his 12th of the year. Angus McDonnell with the lone assist. And then Idaho got a power play as Sage Weinstein got a tripping minor, 1:43 in. Idaho's Brendan Hoffman completed the hat trick as he scored on a one-timer from a very sharp angle on the left wing. He was near the goal line and just snapped it right past Bassey. And it was Hoffman's third of the game and 32nd of the year. Malmquist and I believe the other Dodaro, Charlie Dodaro, with the assist. They just put C. Dodaro on the box score on the ECHL app, but the problem is Charlie and Chris are both C. Dodaro. So it's, I believe during that power play goal there in the second period, it was Charlie Dodaro with an assist. Both the Dodaro brothers have one assist tonight. And when Brendan Hoffman scored 2:50 into the second period, that made it a 4-2 game. Grizzlies got back on the board as Evan Friesen was skating along the left wing. Reed Lepster got the puck and just kind of dropped it towards Friesen, who had all sorts of momentum in the left circle, and Friesen fired it past Halaz. That made it a 4-3 game as Friesen scored 11:26 into the second period. And then the Grizzlies tied it up a minute and 16 seconds later as Barbashev had the puck in the right point, got it across to Gansky. Gansky skated towards the left goal line and just kind of curled a backhand feed in front of the crease to Connors. It was a beautiful pass. Connors collected it and fired it past Halaz. And that was 12:42 into the second period. That made it a 4-4 game. After the goal, Benny Halaz was pulled after stopping 9 of 13, and he was replaced by former Grizzly Jake Barcheski, who led Utah in victories last season. And Barcheski stopped 4 of 5 in the final 7 minutes and 18 seconds of the second period. Utah took a 5-4 lead. It was 14:57 in, so it was 2 minutes and 15 seconds after Connors tied it up. Reed Lepster fired it off of Barcheski's left pad, then Lepster got it back and fired it past the goal line for his team leading 27th of the year. Lepster came into play second in the league in goals, trailing just Idaho's Brendan Hoffman. Reed Lepster picked up his 4th point of the night as he has 1 goal and 3 assists. And so that made it a 5-4 game, and then Idaho tied it up as Robbie Holmes scored with Sam Jardine taking the initial shot from the high slot, ricocheting off a Holmes stick, and it slid under Bassey. As Robbie Holmes got his 7th of the year, Jardine and Aiden Hershuk each picked up an assist, and that was 15:43 into the second to tie it up at 5, and that's where we sit after 40 minutes of play. With the Grizzlies taking a 5-4 lead, but then Idaho coming back, the goaltender of record for Idaho is going to be Jake Barcheski. So they'll pick up either the win or the loss tonight. And for the Grizzlies, Dominic Bassey is the lone goaltender, as the backup goaltender is emergency goalie Reed Jacobson. As last Saturday, Anson Thornton made his Grizzlies debut and was playing outstanding through 2 periods, but with about 1 minute left in the second period, there was just kind of a puck that was pinballing around, and he kind of moved left, right, back to his left, and unfortunately picked up a lower body injury, and he's going to be out a few weeks. So Dominic Bassey's in net for the Grizzlies, and he has won 4 of his last 7 starts, and he's got the Grizzlies in just about every game he's been in. And right now it's anybody's game as we're tied at 5. And obviously the fans here in attendance, they've seen their money's worth. It's been a lot of good hockey played on both teams. For the Grizzlies, are trying to get things rolling here on the Maverik Center ice, and obviously they're an above 500 team on the road with a record of 14-12-2 away from Maverik Center. Utah is just 3-12-2 here at home. So Utah is looking for a victory to open up this 4-game homestand. Remember, the Bloomington Bison are going to be in town for a 3-game series beginning on Friday night. And it's going to be Wild West night here at Maverik Center. Make sure to get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com. There's a special ticket offer for Wild West night. Make sure to go to UtahGrizzlies.com to take advantage of it. It's 2 tickets for $50, and you also get $20 worth of concession vouchers. So an outstanding deal. And remember, with the NHL out on winter break, the Olympic break, I can't think of a better place to be than right here at Maverik Center for the games against Bloomington on Friday for Wild West night, and obviously Valentine's Day on Saturday, and Monday it's going to be a 3 o'clock showdown against the Bloomington Bison. That's what's on tap for the Grizzlies later on this weekend. When we come back, we'll go over some other stats of the second period and also talk some more hockey, as we've had a crazy one here at Maverik Center. Both teams had 2 first period goals, and both had 3 in the second period. And Reed Webster has been a star again as he's got 4 points tonight, 1 goal and 3 assists. That's the second time against Idaho he scored 4 points in a game, and it's the 4th game this season where Webster has scored 4 or more points. After 2 periods, it's Utah 5 and Idaho 5. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverik Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Welcome back to Maverik Center. We're tied at 5 after 2 periods. Some stats of the second period. Grizzlies had 6 scoring chances to Idaho's 5. So through 2 periods, Grizzlies with 11 scoring chances and Idaho has 13. Faceoff battle's been pretty close tonight. Idaho had a 13-12 edge in the second period, meaning that after 2 periods, Grizzlies have won 23 faceoffs and Idaho has won 24. So a very slight edge to Idaho in the faceoff circle. For the Grizzlies, 9 shots in the second period. Idaho had 10. Idaho had 4 power play shots to Utah's 1. So through 2 periods, Grizzlies with 2 power play shots, Idaho with 5. Grizzlies do have 1 shorthanded shot tonight. In terms of hits, Grizzlies have 21 and Idaho has 17. Giveaways, Grizzlies had 5 in the second period and 12 through 2 frames, and Idaho with 4 giveaways in the second period and 10 through the first 2. Everybody having a good time here at Maverik Center as it's the 6th of 7 meetings this season between the Grizzlies and Steelheads. And for the Grizzlies, obviously, you're talking about a great rivalry against the Steelheads, but it was shocking that the original schedule had the Grizzlies not playing Idaho after December 27th. That's like the Yankees and Red Sox not playing after July 4th, or the Dodgers and Giants. You just name whatever rivalry. It's crazy to think that they would be the second half of the season and not play each other. This was originally scheduled to be the game to be played on December 26th. But obviously with the player strike, 2 games removed, the 2-game series against the Idaho Steelheads, the December 26th game is being played tonight. And the other one, which was originally scheduled for December 27th, is now going to be played on Tuesday, April 7th. So the Grizzlies had 0 Tuesday home games scheduled, but due to the player strike, both of the rescheduled games just happen to be on a Tuesday. Club's going up on a Tuesday, and the Grizzlies are hoping to pick up 2 standings points on this Tuesday as they're looking for their 4th home victory of the season. However you slice it, Brendan Hoffman of Idaho is probably going to be one of the stars of the game, as Hoffman, through 2 periods for Idaho, has 3 goals on 6 shots. Reed Webster, 1 goal and 3 assists to lead the Grizzlies. Evan Friesen with 1 goal and 2 assists, so it's another multiple-point game for Evan Friesen, who's really been on a roll. He came into play with goals in 3 straight games and 6 goals in his last 9 contests. So we talked about the top Grizzlies forward line coming into play tonight of Reed Webster, Tyler Gratton, and Evan Friesen. They have all contributed for Utah tonight. Obviously, the 4 points for Webster, 3 points for Evan Friesen, and Tyler Gratton with 1 assist and 2 shots. Gratton was outstanding in the Tahoe series. In fact, all 3 of them on that line were outstanding in the Tahoe series, where the Grizzlies scored 19 goals in 3 games. But Gratton, in his last 10 games, if we count this as the 10th game, has 13 points, 5 goals, and 8 assists. Riley Connors was another standout in the Tahoe series, and Connors has made an impact here tonight as he picked up his 10th goal of the year on the great pass from Noah Gansky. It'll be interesting to see if Aiden Hansen-Bukata is in there for the 3rd period. If not, the Grizzlies are going to be rolling with 5 defensemen. Remember, Hansen-Bukata blocked a shot early in the third period on Saturday in Tahoe. Missed the rest of that game. He was able to play in the first period, but did not play in the second frame. Momentum is going to be crazy in this game, and the Grizzlies will be looking to get momentum early in the third frame. Is it going to be the type of game where the next school wins? Hard to really say based on how things have flown in this game as momentum has switched crazier than a teenager at a school dance. Grizzlies and Steelheads tied at 5. We'll come back and have third period action. So everybody's having a good time to the dance cam. And remember, the Grizzlies will be home 3 games in 4 days during this holiday weekend. Friday, Saturday against Bloomington at 7 o'clock, and Monday, January 16th at 3 p.m. We'll come back and have third period action as we're tied at 5. For my money, one of the best rivalries in the league. It's the Grizzlies and the Steelheads. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Now we're about set for third period action as it's anybody's game. It's the Grizzlies 5 and the Steelheads 5. Grizzlies will start the third period with a forward line of John Gillette with Luke Manning and Mikey Colella. And it's outstanding to have Luke Manning back after missing 20 straight games. He scored a late first period goal, and he's had an extra bounce to his step here tonight. I had thought that he was going to be out another 2 or 3 weeks, but great to have him back out there. Noah Gansky and Luke Salem are the starting defensive pairing. For Idaho, it's going to be the same 5 that started the game. Angus McDonnell with Jade Miller and Nick Canati. Draw one by Utah to start the third period. We're underway as Luke Salem will whip it around the boards. Jake Barcheski replaced Benny Hawaz after Utah's 4th goal. Barcheski led the Grizzlies in victories last year as Miller over the offense line. First time he's been at Maverik Center since. As Canati left wing, he fires it over the crossbar. And the Steelheads will loft it out of play as it hits an empty seat near section 118. So we get our first whistle 19 seconds into the third period. It's the only pro hockey game tonight, as there's no games in the NHL with the Olympic break, and the AHL is on their all-star break. And this is the only game in this league. There's a handful of games tomorrow. Grizzlies will be back on the Maverik Center ice on Friday night to begin a 3-game series with the Bloomington Bison. And for the Idaho Steelheads, they will be in Wichita this weekend for 3 games in 3 days against the Thunder. So they've got a busy schedule due to the Steelheads. Luckily for the Grizzlies, it's 3 games in 4 days, but it's 3 games in 3 days for Idaho. As a result, it's kind of a tough one for them. As Grizzlies cross center ice after winning the faceoff, Luke Manning dumps into the left corner as Charlie Dodaro gets their stride ahead of Manning. Now Idaho off the stick as Nick Canati will push it into the Grizzlies zone as it's taken back by Weinstein, who drifts it around the boards. Puck to the right corner as Gillette holds up a Steelhead, and that's John Gillette, whose brother Mike Gillette sitting on the bench right now. One of 12 forwards for John Buchanan's crew. Evan Friesen with 3 points tonight. Strides along the left wing, trying to get it to Weinstein. Bounced off of him. Delayed offside. The Steelheads will get it out to center ice. Mitch Wall, the 36-year-old, skates along the right wing, fires a sharp angled shot, and it goes wide, stick side on Bassey. As the Steelheads get it taken away by Reed Lebster behind Utah's net. Lebster will drop it to Boilar, who's at the near goal line, and he'll nudge to his left for Gratton. Rink wide feed angle right towards Gansky. Gansky skips it to the middle of the ice looking for Friesen, but it was overled for him. Left wing, Boilar with a lefty shot that goes wide as he puts a dent in the glass. Gratton to the right goal line. Feathered one out in front, but nobody was home. Boiler left wing. Shot blocker saved by Barcheski, and it flies out of play with 18:31 left in the third. We talked about Barcheski last year was with the Grizzlies. He had an AHL contract with the Colorado Eagles. Barcheski out of O'Fallon, Missouri. Last year with the Grizzlies in 40 games, he had a record of 16, 15, and 3 with a .902 save percentage and a 3.49 goals against average. Friesen wins the draw as it goes towards the corner. Now Idaho's Aiden Hershuk takes it away from Lebster. Faceoffs were pretty close to even through 2 periods tonight. As Gratton tried to backhand it ahead, now it goes back to Gratton, who gets it deeper into the Steelhead zone. Grizzlies in a black jersey with white numbers, white letter, and professional green trim. Idaho in a white jersey with black numbers and a little bit of silver mixed in. Chris Dodaro will slide it deep in the Grizzlies zone. Weinstein chases after it with Brendan Hoffman. Weinstein gets the puck. Hoffman hits Weinstein along his right side. Now Weinstein shields Hoffman from the puck and gets the ends. Lebster gets pushed by Hershuk. As Weinstein up the stick, Hoffman feeds one out in front to Malmquist, who didn't have a shooting angle. Hoffman backhands it towards the right point for Malmquist, who will slide it across to Hershuk. Hershuk left wing, lefty shot, saved by Bassey. Bassey had a trickle in front of him, but he's able to regather it, and he holds on with 17:41. That's the time remaining here in regulation. Utah looking for their third win against Idaho this season. Grizzlies are 2-2-1. So Idaho with a record of 3-2 against Utah. Bassey has saved 21 of 26. For the Idaho side, they've had 2 goaltenders. Jake Barcheski will be the goaltender of record, meaning he'll get either the win or loss. As when Benny Halas left the game, the score was tied at 4. And Utah wins the draw as Noah Gansky will stride across center ice. Gansky over the offense line, dangling back and forth, trying to drop it for Barbashev, but the only guy there was a Steelhead. It's Jade Miller. Rink wide feed, angle right, is skipped towards Pearson. Pearson gets pushed to the boards, loses his balance, gets it back as Connors back towards the Utah line. It's nudged by Pelton Weiss. Now it slides towards Bassey, who kicks it with his right pad towards the corner. As Malmquist, he gets hit by a Grizzly, Danny Genev, as it still had lifted his stick as Idaho comes back up with it. Charlie Dodaro will throw it back into his own zone. Jeff Baum will hustle after it in the far corner. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the period. Barbashev delivers a hit on Baum as Caleb Pearson gets the puck. Pearson, who played with the University of Prince Edward Island last season. He's got an AHL contract with the Texas Stars. As Idaho gets it back in deep, Grizzlies in their 8th season as an affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche. The Steelheads have been with the Stars for many years. While over the rink wide feed, the ricochets off the boards all the way down for a Utah icing as there's 16:40 left in the third. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. The only pro hockey game going on in any of the 3 leagues. While we're talking things over with Colby Ends, Grizzlies have 5 defensemen as Aiden Hansen-Bukata has not played since the end of the first period. Riley Connors will take the drives out there at Barbashev and Danny Genev. If you joined us late, Maxime Barbashev was reassigned to the Grizzlies from the AHL's Tucson Roadrunners yesterday. As Idaho skates around Utah's net, Robbie Holmes gets it knifed away by Dominic Bassey as Barbashev nudges ahead towards Genev, but Genev comes off the ice. Grizzlies will switch up forwards. Robbie Holmes with the puck skates around Mike Gillette. Now Holmes gets tapped by Colby Ends. Puck goes back towards Mike Gillette, the former Peoria Riverman. Off of Ends' skate. Actually, it was off his glove as the puck goes back to Idaho. Holmes gets a new tries as he fakes the punt it. Holmes with 1 goal tonight and 7 on the season. He trying to get towards our Curry, and it goes all the way down. Incomplete pass for a Idaho icing. And so icing is on the Steelheads. 16:02 is left in the third period. So it looks like the offensive explosion has calmed down a little bit. Both teams trying to play under control, as I think both clubs understand the importance of scoring the next goal. So faceoff's going to be in the left circle. There's Rob Church in the blue shirt, director of photography for the Grizzlies. Luke Manning will take the draw, the Air Force and St. Thomas product. Manning in his third season with the Grizzlies, second full year. Played 1 year at Air Force in the 2019-2020 season, then 4 years at the University of St. Thomas, who just built a beautiful new hockey arena. As Idaho ricochets it off the right wing boards, our Curry runs it down, no icing. Our Curry's got outstanding speed. He gets pushed by Gansky and divorcing the puck. Weinstein gets it for Utah. Sage Weinstein now accelerates, getting around one stud before he loses control of the puck. Nick Canati, 3-on-1. Canati drops to the left wing. Now back to Canati. Siren pass, shot to score. And the Steelheads take the lead. It's now a 6-5 game. Lloyd Canati got the puck, moved it towards the left wing, got it back in front of the crease. And Nick Canati gets his 7th of the year. Canati towards the left wing, back to Canati in the give and go. And Nick Canati pointed out the main assist score. And I think that was Jade Miller. So Steelheads have 6 goals on 28 shots. And for the third straight period, they have scored the first goal in the frame. Canati with the goal, and it was Jade Miller on the other end of the give and go. Miller to Canati. It's Canati back to Miller, and then, Canati got the goal, and Miller with the main assist. Second pass to Gratton off his stick, as the Grizzlies quickly have it in the offensive zone. As Reed Lepster towards the right wing, skates back towards the point, drops it for Ends with a righty shot off a Steelhead stick. Hershuk around his own net, and goaltender Jake Barcheski. Hershuk one-hands it ahead towards Salem and gets around Canati. As Salem gets to Friesen off his stick, now to Lepster. Lepster just outside the right circle, back to Friesen, who tried to center it. It kicked off an Idaho skate, and that was Sam Jardine. Idaho clears it back to center ice. Wallar rolls the puck along the boards as Idaho will switch up skaters. Gansky's now paired up with Wallar. Remember, the Grizzlies have an odd number of defensemen here in the third period. Friesen to the middle of the ice for Lepster. Righty shot goes wide as he missed the net stick side on Barcheski. Barcheski back at Maverik Center for the first time as a member of the visiting team. Wall around the boards. Hoffman backhands it towards the net. It's cut off by Chris Dodaro. Now Dodaro over to Wall. Wall's righty shot's blocked by Gansky. Now Gansky gets around center ice, and he'll zip it around the wall. Grizzlies will switch up skaters as they reshuffle the deck personnel-wise. 14-10 on the moving clock, third period. Idaho leads 6-5, and Nick Canati right now has the difference in the game. He scored 4:29 into the third period on an assist going to Jade Miller. For Miller, he now has 1 goal and 1 assist tonight. He has 13 assists on the year. Ends back deep in his own zone across to Weinstein, who outlets to center ice. Grizzlies directed to Genev. Genev back towards Connors, over to Barbashev, back to Connors. His shot hits the near post as Connors tried to go stick side against his former teammate. Idaho with a long distance flight deep into the Grizzlies zone. We've seen some pucks go get some serious air tonight. Genev over towards Connors as Grizzlies switch up defensemen. Connors pedals towards the near corner before he loses control of the puck as he collided with Charlie Dodaro. Caleb Pearson out to neutralize 2-on-2 as Chris Dodaro drops it for Pearson. Pearson gets it knifed away by Salem. And now the puck goes back to neutralize. Good defensive play by Luke Salem in his second full season as a pro. Pearson battles with Salem. Now action in the Grizzlies zone in the right wing. Up top to Punnett, who slides it towards the left wing. Righty shot goes wide as Punnett plays the puck in the right point, keeping it in. Trying to backhand it to Pelton Bice. Geneva will clear it back towards Idaho ice as Grizzlies will switch up skaters. No icing as Jake Boltman plays it behind Barcheski. Boltman played at Northeastern University. Before that was at the University of Michigan. Boltman, an Edina, Minnesota native. Pearson tried to get the puck at center ice, got his stick lifted, but no icing on the play. As Wallar gets the puck, and he'll direct it towards center ice for Mike Gillette. Off his stick, it flies deep into the Steelhead zone. As Steinmetz collides with Weinstein. As Kennedy tried to move it ahead, Kennedy wearing number 17. Sean's his first name. Waller right wings to Kennedy. Kennedy over the offense line. He gets belted by Robbie Holmes as Kennedy gets divorced from the puck. 12-12 on a moving clock, third period. Idaho leads 6-5. Steelheads have outshot the Grizzlies 28-19. Utah dumps it in, and they switch up skaters. Manning's on the ice as he's out there with Mikey Colella and John Gillette, a hardworking forward line. Ends behind Bassey's net. He gets the puck. He's a +1 this season. He gets pushed by Steinmetz. Now Ends trying to drop it for Salem. It's taken by Idaho. Holmes in the offensive zone up top to Hershuk. Right side, his shot gets redirected by a stick and goes just wide. It got redirected by Steinmetz's stick as puck is kept in by Jardine down the middle of the ice. He negotiates his way around two Grizzlies. Lefty shot saved by Bassey. And he holds on as there's 11:34. That's the time remaining in the third period. It's the Steelheads 6 and the Grizzlies 5 as Utah's looking for a third period comeback. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
11 minutes and 34 seconds are left in the third period. Idaho leads 6-5. Difference in the game right now is the third period goal scored by Nick Canati on the give and go with Jade Miller. Canati picked up his 7th goal of the season, 4:29 into the third. 11:34 is the time remaining. Idaho has outshot Utah 29-19. Fun game. The Grizzlies usually play 2 or 3 game series, but it's just a 1-game stop for the Steelheads here on a Tuesday night. First Tuesday home game for the Grizzlies in many years. Weinstein off the boards, puck hit the opposite center ice. It's taken by Sam Jardine. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the third period. McDonnell off his stick. Canati hits the ice, and that's going to be a penalty on Utah. Canati tried to accept the puck, and Evan Friesen was in the area, but taking the penalty, Sage Weinstein. Weinstein gets 2 minutes for tripping, and Idaho gets their 4th power play of the game as there's 11:20 left in the third. And Weinstein didn't even argue it as he went after the puck and tripped Canati. And Sage Weinstein saw himself on the video board. His tripping minor comes 8:40 into the third period. So this is a critical penalty kill for the Grizzlies to try to stay within striking range. As Gansky will take the draw against Hoffman. Gansky wins the faceoff. Webster 2 shorthanded goals this season. Strides along the near wing, but loses control of the puck. Idaho re-enters. Hoffman to the middle of the ice off of Gratton's stick, and Ends will fly it towards Barcheski. Jake Barcheski appeared in 40 of Utah's 72 games last season. And now he's with Idaho, and it's game 15 for Idaho this year. Actually, it's game 14 for Idaho. He played in 1 game with Bloomington earlier this season. Baum over to the right wing to Pearson off his skate, but he's able to keep it in over in the right point. He whips the puck around the boards. Hoffman gets cut off by Ends. Now the puck's up top towards Mitch Wall, across to Pearson, back to Wall. As now it's taken by Malmquist. Now back towards Hoffman, over to Malmquist. Baum in the high slot. Over to Malmquist, left side. No ricochet off the boards for Hoffman. Righty shot, and a blocker saved by Bassey. Loose puck out in front as Gratton tried to clear it out. Now Pearson gets it. He's in the right corner. Halfway through Idaho's power play as Malmquist over to Baum, who fakes a one-timer, gets it back to Malmquist as they try to get it across to Pearson, and Gratton will accept the puck and he'll clear it all the way out. Grizzlies will get 4 fresh tires on their penalty kill, and the Steelheads get a fresh 5-man unit on the ice. Idaho's 10-1-2 in their last 12 games. It's plopped off the glass by our Curry as Boilard tried to muscle the puck out. Now Friesen gets it. No, wobble it towards Barcheski. Barcheski cuts it off in front of the crease and keeps the play alive. As Charlie Dodaro with the puck. He's got a nay on his sweater. He right wings it to Wall at center ice. Wall zips it around the wall. And no punt, definitely not intended there. John Gillette will skip it all the way towards Barcheski. As a ricochet near the U of U health sign behind Barcheski's net. The U of U assist of the game was Gansky's feed in front of the net to Riley Connors to tie it up at 4. Grizzlies are back at full strength. Weinstein will join the play. Weinstein gets the puck in the left wing. Over to Connors. Connors dangling back forward, gets it to Genev. Right wing lefty shot goes high as he just got a little bit too much air under it. Idaho strides along the right wing. Now accelerating is Mac Donnell towards the right corner. Referee got in the way as he was chasing after the puck was Mac Donnell. As over in the right corner, Idaho in the offensive zone. Up to punt it. Lefty shot. Saved by Bassey. As ricocheted off his right shoulder, Bassey collects it and holds on. As there's 8:53 left in the third period. Idaho leads 6-5. Boy, Punnett just kind of whipped a high, hard one, and Bassey somehow was able to collect it with the right shoulder. Kind of ricocheted off his right shoulder, then took the glove and just kind of collapsed it near his body. A lot of fun action here at Maverik Center tonight. 6 meeting between the clubs, and for my money, one of the best rivalries in the league. Faceoff's game in the left circle. Jade Miller will take the draw against Riley Connors. How about Connors over the last couple weeks? 4 goals and 1 assist in the 3-game series against Tahoe, and he scored a second period goal for Utah on a great pass from Noah Gansky. Jade Miller's kicked out of the faceoff circle. Nick Canati will take the draw. Fans take up a Let's Go Grizzlies chant. Pretty good Tuesday night crowd as Idaho wins the draw. Left wing righty shot, and that's blocked by Bassey. Now Barbashev gets to the middle of the ice. Connors gets taken away as Chris Dodaro dancing back and forth. Jade Miller got into the Grizzlies zone, so there wasn't much that Chris Dodaro could do as he loses control of the puck. Weinstein down the middle of the ice, races across center left wing, steps over the offensive blue, drops it for Genev, who tried to move it to the middle of the ice for Barbashev. It's taken away by Canati. Nick Canati, a former defenseman for the Steelheads, and he's in his 4th year with Idaho. Jake Boltman crosses center ice, no plop it in, as the puck ricochets off the boards on one hop of the ice. Barbashev in the near wing. He played with Bloomington last year, ahead to Gratton off his stick, and it goes back to the Steelheads. Bloomington will be here at Maverik Center later on this week. Hershuk over the offensive blue, left wing, lefty shot, saved by Bassey. It ricochets off his blocker and out of play, off the protective netting with 7:58 left in the third. So faceoff's going to be in the left circle. Evan Friesen will take the draw. Friesen 1 goal and 2 assists tonight. As puck goes out towards center ice, Gansky ices it. They're looking for Reed Lepster. Idaho got back defensively. So faceoff's going to be back in the left circle. There's now 7:52 left in the third period. Grizzlies with an offensive explosion. 44 goals in their last 9.5 games. Friesen will take the draw. He's in his first season as a pro. He led the Wenatchee Wild. Off the draw shot, saved by Bassey. Grizzlies fired off the near wing boards, and Hershuk will backhand it towards Grizzlies ice. Gansky skips it across to Boilard, nudges to center ice. And Idaho will sky it back towards Bassey. Gansky plays the puck behind Utah's net. Like Gansky, for his size, moves around so well. Gets around Pelton Bice. Now Gansky backhands it towards the net. It hits the outside of the cage. Stick side on Barcheski. Now out to the middle of the ice off a Malmquist stick. Boilard backhanded head towards the Idaho bench. As Grizzlies will switch up defensemen. Utah's rolling with 5D here in the last 2 periods. As Aiden Hansen-Bukata scored a goal late in the first period, but he hasn't been out there since the end of the frame. End of the first period, that is. Steinmetz gets it back behind Utah's net as Bassey plays it. Salem with a nice spin move to get around our Curry. Grattan feeds it to the middle of the ice for Webster. Left wings it to Friesen. Friesen crosses center ice, and he'll skip it in. As Friesen will now skate off the ice for a change. As Holmes across off an Idaho stick towards the Steelheads bench. Luke Manning gets the puck. We get a whistle. And I wonder if Utah got caught with too many on the ice. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Too many men on the ice, and that's going to be a penalty on the Grizzlies. Utah was in the middle of a line change, and referee Curtis Pare spotted the Grizzlies playing with 6. So with 6 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third period, it's going to be an Idaho power play. Representing the Grizzlies in the box is going to be Mikey Colella. As Grizzlies were in the middle of a change. And the guy you got to watch out for is Weinstein. Grizzlies played the puck, and referee determined that Weinstein wasn't close enough to the bench. They give you, what do they say? They give you about 3 to 5 feet or so. But in that case, looked like Weinstein, he was still a little bit too much towards the middle of the ice for referee Curtis Pare's liking. So as a result, Grizzlies get caught with too many. So face-off won by Idaho as they'll get it towards the right corner. Pelton Bice dancing back and forth. Now we get a whistle as looks like Dominic Bassey's net's been knocked open. So put the net back in place, and that stops play with 1:52 left in the power play and 6:38 left in regulation. Idaho's outshot Utah 33-20. Steelheads lead the league in shots per game at 34.6. Grizzlies had about a 10-game stretch where they were taking about 35 shots per game, but they've kind of returned to the middle of the pack in the league. Both shots for and shots against. Brendan Hoffman's got 3 goals tonight. He'll take the draw against Noah Gansky. Grizzlies with an unusual approach of having a defenseman taking the face-off in their defensive zone on a penalty kill. As Idaho wins the draw, as back behind Utah's net, Pelton Bice battles with Gansky. Gansky skies it. Baum with his chest is able to keep it in. Now it's taken away by Genev. He'll throw it deep into the Steelhead zone. Genev runs after the puck. He gets it at the right goal line. Genev trying to start to Connors. It's bouncing off a Baum. Now Genev gets it back. Lefty shot saved by Barcheski. And a Steelhead will nudge the puck back towards Barzo. It will cover up with 6:14 left in the third. Well, a good hustle by Genev getting the puck. Didn't have much of a shooting angle, and then got it and had a shooting angle on the right wing, and Barcheski was able to make the stop. Jake Barcheski, familiar with the Maverik Center surroundings. His family made a couple trips over to the Salt Lake Valley last season. I imagine they made a couple trips over to Boise. Genev with a quick shot. He leads the league in shots, does Danny Genev. He's averaging about 5 shots per game over the last 2 months. Idaho has the puck in front of Barcheski as Baum will skate around Barcheski's net. 1:15 left in Idaho's power plays. The Grizzlies were caught playing with 6. Now Lepster takes the puck away as Idaho is trying to enter the offensive zone. Lepster towards the left wing, backhand shot goes wide as Barcheski did a good job sliding towards his right to cut off really much of a shooting angle for Barcheski. As Brendan Hoffman has the puck. He's at the Idaho blue line, does a bit of a half circle around the Utah center ice logo. Now Hoffman gets around 2 Grizzlies. Backhand shot goes high over over Bassey. We get a whistle, and the puck deflected off the protective netting as there's 5 minutes and 32 seconds left in the third period. So face-off's going to be in the left circle. 46 seconds left in the power play. They're working on a little bit of the ice in the crease that Bassey's protecting here in the third period. Both teams will be off for the next 2 days. Grizzlies will begin a 3-game series with Bloomington on Friday night. And for the Idaho Steelheads, they will have a 3-game and 3-day stretch on the road in Wichita. So they're continuing to work on part of the ice in front of the crease that Bassey's protecting. If you joined us late, you've missed quite a game. As Idaho leads 6-5. Brendan Hoffman scored 2 first-period goals for Idaho. Grizzlies responded with 2 unanswered. Hanson, Bukata, and Manning finding the back of the net. Idaho scored 2 goals early in the second period. Jade Miller 45 seconds in, and Brendan Hoffman with his third of the game, 2:50 in. Grizzlies responded with 3 unanswered. Evan Friesen, 11:26 in. Riley Connors tied it up, 12:42 in, and then Reed Lepster gave Utah a 5-4 lead. Utah gets the draw as 2-on-1. Utah towards the right side. Colby centers it, but it bounced off of Charlie Dodaro as Dodaro dove to cut off the centering feed. Now Evan Friesen gets the puck. He's in the offensive zone. Now he escaped back to neutral ice, and he'll throw it back to Gansky. Gansky whips it off the glass. It goes over Dodaro's stick. Charlie, that is. 20 seconds left in the power play. About 5 minutes left in regulation. Mitch Wall will loft it over Friesen's head, and the puck is whipped around the boards, and it goes past Charlie Dodaro. So it looks like it's going to be another successful penalty kill for the Grizzlies. Idaho will be 1 for 5 on the power play. Grizzlies are 1 for 3 tonight. Mikey Colella's out of the box as he was representing the Grizzlies. Were caught with too many on the ice. Colella joins the play off of Boilard. Now the puck is taken by Canati. Canati, they try to move it across, and the net's dislodged once again for Utah as Grizzlies get it towards Colella. He gets around Hershut, but Hershut crowbars the puck away from him. Bassey's trying to put the net back in place himself as Grizzlies dump it back in from neutral ice. As Idaho nursing a 6-5 lead, Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Nick Canati off of Manning's stick as Weinstein, long-range feed, angle right, goes past Colella as the Steelheads whip the puck along the boards. Reed Lepster gets it across the ends on the right side, fires a righty shot that goes wide. Manning wraparound shot, saved by Barcheski. Everybody hacking away, and Barcheski covers up. 3:58 left in the third, and Idaho leads 6-5. We're back in a minute on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We got a fun one here at Maverik Center. There's 3 minutes and 58 seconds left in the third period. The Grizzlies will be looking for the tying goal, as right now Idaho leads 6-5, and the difference in the game is Nick Canati and Jade Miller on a give and go as Canati finish it off 4:29 into the third period. Grizzlies win the draw. They've got 1 goal and 3 assists from Reed Lepster. Ends down the middle of the ice, fires towards the net. A kick save off the right pad of Barcheski as the Steelheads will plop it back to center ice. Grizzlies back in their own zone as Riley Connors in the area. We'll keep an eye on Bassey over the next few minutes, see if he comes off for an extra attacker. Connors right wing, righty shot blocker saved by Barcheski. Now left wing Barbashev with a lefty shot that goes wide. 3.5 minutes left in the third period. Idaho's Hershut gets back checked by Genev, who picked his pocket. Puck ricochets off the near glass as Genev gets around Canati. You can tell that Genev is motivated against the team he was in training camp with earlier this season. Puck is skied towards Gansky, who collects it near the Utah line. Gansky skates around the Bud Light sign in the high slot of the Grizzlies zone. Barcheski rolls along the boards. Genev to the right side, fires lefty shot, stick saved by Barcheski. Puck ricochets off Idaho's backboards as Charlie Dodaro will move it out to center ice. Grant with the puck, less than 3 minutes left in regulation. Idaho leads 6-5. Salem in the left point gets pushed by Pearson. Puck goes back towards the Utah blue line where it's taken by Gansky. Grizzlies with 5 defensemen as Aiden Hansen-Bukata has not played since the end of the first period. Salem ahead towards Lepster, who's got 4 points tonight. 1 goal and 3 assists, gets the Idaho blue line before it's knifed away by Charlie Dodaro. Idaho fires it off the video board. Boy, what is it with these cross-country flights? We saw Sean Kennedy almost hit the roof And a Steelhead hits the top of the video board at center ice with 2:33 left in the third. And as a result, the Grizzlies are going to have an offensive zone draw. So Utah's looking for the tying goal. Bassey's off the ice. And I think Utah might use their timeout. Idaho used their timeout in the second period after the Grizzlies had scored to tie it up at 4. Or they might have been after they took a 5-4 lead. As Ryan Anderson, the assistant coach, has got the clipboard out. Timeout on Utah. 2 minutes, 33 seconds left in the third period. Smoke him if you got him. And for the Grizzlies, it's got to be some of their big guns on the ice. You think about that forward line of Reed Webster, Tyler Gratton, and Evan Friesen. They were outstanding in the Tahoe series last week on the road, where Utah scored 19 goals in 3 games. And they have all contributed here tonight. Luckily for the Grizzlies, they've got plenty of forward depth, so they don't necessarily have to worry about a particular 6-man unit. They can make a change here and really have something working. You find a way to get Webster all alone in the left wing. That's been his money spot as of late. It looks like for the Grizzlies, they kind of switched things up. It's interesting. The Grizzlies kind of had a few of the guys that are going to be on the ice for this shift hanging on the bench, so Idaho couldn't calculate who was going to be on the ice. Kind of an interesting strategy by the Grizzlies. Utah's rolling with 5 forwards and 1 defenseman. Webster, Friesen, Gratton, Connors, Genev, and Noah Gansky. That's the 6 on the ice for Utah. Brendan Hoffman with 3 goals tonight, taking the draw for Idaho against Evan Friesen. Idaho wins the faceoff, and they'll slide one towards the empty net. Racing after is Genev, and icing's going to be called on Idaho as Genev won the race with Chris Tadero. Tadero, one of Idaho's fastest players. So Steelheads won the draw. There's 2:28 left in the third period. Grizzlies looking for the tying goal. Kind of a rare third period where the Grizzlies haven't scored. They have been a dominant third period team as of late. Draw won by Idaho's. Jeff Baum whips it around the boards. Genev couldn't reach it with his stick. It's going to go all the way down. It got redirected, though, says Colin Kleinendorf. He says no icing. Grizzlies bench can't believe it, but Genev must have gotten a piece of it as the puck was rolling along the far wing boards. 2:12 left in regulation. Gansky with a left wing feed out to Genev. Genev will rock the puck towards the right corner. It's taken off the boards by Hoffman, who will ricochet off the glass. The puck rolls along the bench area, along the boards near the bench area, where it's taken by Gansky. 2 minutes left in regulation. Webster skates around his empty net as Utah's looking for the tying goal. Webster strides along the left wing, steps over the offensive line. Webster now around Barczewski's net. He gets tripped up to Webster. It's going to be a penalty on Idaho as Charlie Tadero trying to keep pace with Webster. Webster, as he was skating around Idaho's net, lost his balance. And Charlie Tadero tripped up Webster. So it's going to be a Utah power play with 1:45 left in the third. Grizzlies are going to try to kill a little bit of time to maybe see if they can drop a play. This is towards the end of a long shift, but I think the Grizzlies are going to keep the same on the ice. 6-on-4, Utah's net is empty here in a 1-goal game. But remember, Idaho gets free clears now that they're on the penalty kill, so they don't have to worry about icing being called. They just have to win faceoffs and fire towards an empty net. So there's a little bit of obviously, you'd love to not have 4 on the ice opposed to Utah's 6. Hoffman is not on the ice. Evan Friesen will take the draw for Utah. And I believe it's going to be Jade Miller taking the faceoff for Idaho. And the draw won by Utah. Now it goes off of Gratton's stick. Punt it behind the net. We'll throw it up and glance off of Gansky's glove and out to center ice. Webster will feed it towards the Grizzlies bench for Genev. Grizzlies spread the ice 6-on-4 on a power play. Webster crosses center ice, gets it to Gratton in the left point. Gratton across to Friesen off the boards. Friesen slows things down. He'll drop it for Genev. Danny Genev will solicit to Gansky in the high slot. Gansky over to Webster in the left wing. As Webster dancing back and forth with the puck dangling towards the left goal line. Grizzlies get to middle of the ice. Friesen left shot, a score! Grizzlies tied up! Friesen fired towards the net. Who gets the goal? Everybody's talking it over. It might be the captain, Tyler Gratton. We're tied at 6 with 68 seconds left. Oh, what a crazy game here at Maverik Center. Friesen with a shot. Might have ricocheted off the left leg of Tyler Grant. How about this? Friesen off of Gratton. And it's now anybody's game. It's the Grizzlies 6 and the Steelheads 6. Luke Manning will take the draw for Utah. Bassey's in net right now, as the Grizzlies find a way here late in the third period. Manning skies it in from center ice. Gratton officially gets credited with the goal, with Friesen and Riley Connors gained the assist. Utah gets to John Gillette. Will nudge it back up top. Salem rolls along the boards. Barczewski plays behind his net as 46 seconds left. Idaho look to get it to Robbie Holmes. Goes past him all the way down. It's Steelheads getting called for icing. Grizzlies with an offensive zone draw with 41 seconds left. So how about this game? Gratton with the goal, Friesen, and Riley Connors with the assist. So 41 seconds left. Luke Manning will take the draw. He's taking a lot of the big face-offs for the Grizzlies when he's been in there. As John Gillette and Mikey Colella out there, as well as Noah Gansky and Luke Salem. Grizzlies win the draw. Colella fires lefty shot that goes wide. We're tied at 6. We got to fill in the score. Is going to be 7-6. But who's it going to be? Idaho will sky it towards Utah ice. Luke Salem spins around Robbie Holmes. Salem will plop it out to center ice. As Utah gets knifed away. Now it's taken by Jardine at the Idaho line. 22 seconds left. Idaho might be playing for one final shot if they can. Ed towards Holmes. It goes past him. Bassey stays in front of his net as Chris Tadero collides with Luke Salem. They got to the puck about the same time. As John Gillette out to the left wing. He'll skip one deep as Barczewski wants icing, and it's going to be called. Icing get on Utah with 5.9 seconds left in the third period. What a game we've had here at Maverik Center. Unless some miracle happens for the Steelheads in the final 5 seconds of regulation, we're going to have overtime. Brendan Hoffman will take the draw for Idaho. Can't see who it is for the Grizzlies. I think it's Luke Manning. Draw one by Idaho. Hoffman trying to get a shot up. Bounce one off a Grizzly. And it goes around the net. 2 seconds left. Time will run out. We got overtime. How about that? The Grizzlies scored 18:52 into the third with Gratton just having the puck ricochet off his knee on a Friesen shot. And so Gratton with the game-tying goal. And that tied it up at 6. We know the final score is going to be 7-6. And we're just, the final score is going to be 7-6, but who's it going to be? Grizzlies in overtime situations this season have a record of 1-4. Officially, the record would be 1-0-4. For the Steelheads, they've had plenty of overtime games. In fact, for Idaho, this is their 6th overtime game in their last 8 games. So how about that? They've had a crazy amount of overtime games here as of late. So final score is going to be 7-6. We know that. And three on the ice to start overtime. Grizzlies had 4 scoring chances. Idaho had 3. To start overtime, it's going to be Riley Connors out there with Danny Genev and Luke Salem. So it's Connors, Genev, and Salem. That's the 3 on the ice. For Idaho, it's Ty Pelton-Bice with Jeff Baum and I believe either Brendan Hoffman or Caleb Pearson. It's Pearson on the ice with Pelton Bice and Baum. Idaho wins the draw. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in overtime. Tied at 6. Pearson gets the puck left wing and fires a righty shot. Glove saved by Bassey. And he holds on as we played 11 seconds of this overtime. So it's going to be a draw in the left circle. Same 3 on the ice for Idaho. And for the Grizzlies, it's the same 3 as Riley Connors will take the draw against Ty Pelton Bice. So both teams with the standing point tonight, looking to see who gets that second point. High drama here on a Tuesday night. Only pro game. Either the NHL, AHL, or ECHL level. Idaho wins the faceoff. Bomb towards Pelton Bice in the right wing. Pelton Bice veers off to his left. Drops it for Pearson, who fakes the bomb. As Pearson over to Pelton Bice on the right side. Stops as he being shadowed by Salem. Now across to Pearson. Pearson on the left wing across to Pelton Bice. Pelton Bice will voluntarily skate back to neutral ice. He's got Salem all over him like the cheap suit I'm wearing right now. Bice gets around Genev. Now the puck off a skate. Salem gets the puck. He skates around Utah's net. Salem towards the far side. He gets hit by Pearson. Ty Pelton Bice to the puck. Jardine replaced Baum. Now Jardine will skate back to neutral ice. Pelton Bice replaced by Hoffman. Hoffman 3 goals tonight. Gets taken away by Genev. Danny Genev near the Grizzlies bench. Gets the puck. He gets pushed by Jardine. Arcuri gets it. He skates 2-on-2. Arcuri around Utah's net. Now Arcuri loses his balance. Ricochets himself off the boards. He'll ricochet the puck off the net. Now Arcuri fakes it towards Jardine. Now he kicks it off a Jardine skate. Reed Lebster collects it. Lebster 27 goals this season, including 1 tonight. He's got 5 game-winning goals to lead the Grizzlies. Utah will switch up skaters. Gansky and Friesen are out there with Lebster. Reed Lebster gets to neutral ice. Lebster out to center. He'll drop it for Friesen. Evan Friesen's in the left corner. Back to Lebster. He skates around. He's now in the right wing. Lebster to Gansky. Noah Gansky down the middle. He's in the right wing. Gansky dancing back and forth. Now he pedals to his left. Gansky drops it to Friesen. Fans take up a Let's Go Grizzlies chant. 5:14 left in overtime. We're tied at 6. Lebster skates towards the left point. He'll drop it for Gansky. He's in the left point. Lebster over to Lebster from Gansky. Now to Friesen left wing. Friesen lefty shot. Saved by Barcheski. Friesen collects it again. Now he gets taken away by Hoffman. Idaho races to neutral ice. Hoffman towards the end of his shift. He steps over the offense line. Snares Arcuri lefty shot and a score. Francisco Arcuri wins it for Idaho. And this Maverik Center crowd is stunned. Arcuri with the game winner. With 4:51 left in overtime. And the Idaho Steelheads get a 7-6 victory, breaking the hearts of the Maverik Center faithful. Well, for Idaho, they've played a ton of games past regulation. 6 of the last 8 decided past regulation. And for the Steelheads, they come away with the extra standing point. For the Grizzlies, they put together a valiant effort as they tied it up with Tyler Gratton, 18:52 into the third period. Arcuri gets the game winner with Brendan Hoffman getting the assists. As Francisco Arcuri is the hero tonight. Arcuri gets his 17th goal of the season. And the main assists go to Brendan Hoffman, and Hoffman's going to be the number 1 star tonight as he had 3 goals in the first 2 periods of play, and he comes away with the overtime game-winning assists. And with that, we might as well start the post-game report as the fans are filing out here on a Wednesday night. And boy, for the Grizzlies, you know, it was one of those where Idaho in each of the 3 periods scored first. Grizzlies did a good job bouncing back, and obviously the tying goal with 18:52 into the third period gave the Grizzlies a standing point tonight. While Utah just couldn't find a way to get a good chance on Barcheski there in overtime, and then Idaho skated in with a little bit of momentum. Hoffman was in the right wing and just chipped it out in front to Arcuri, and Francisco Arcuri put away the game winner, 2:09 into overtime. Brendan Hoffman scored 2 early first period goals as he scored his 30th of the year, 4:28 in, with Chris Dodaro and Mitch Wall getting the assists. And then Hoffman scored a second of the period, 9:12 in. It was his 31st of the year. Jardine and Wall each picked up an assist. Grizzlies got on the board as Aiden Hansen-Mukata, who didn't play past the first period, but he got the puck in the left point. He fired it past Benny Halas for a power play goal, 13:35 in. Reed Webster and Evan Friesen with the assists. Grizzlies tied it up, 18:04 in. And one of the big stories coming into play tonight was Luke Manning returning to action for the first time after missing 20 straight games. Manning skated around Idaho's net towards the right wing, and he just slid it under Benny Halah's 5-hole as Manning picked up his third of the year. Webster and Tyler Gratton with the assists. And just like that, late in the first period, we were tied at 2. Early in the second, Jade Miller scored from the left wing. That was his 12th of the year. Angus McDonnell with the assists. Then Idaho got a power play after a Sage Weinstein tripping minor 113 in. And Hoffman completed the hat trick 250 in as he picked up his 32nd of the year. Liam Malmquist and Charlie Dodaro with the assists. Grizzlies really dominated play in the final 9 minutes of the second period. Evan Friesen got his 15th of the year from Reed Webster. Webster skated in with momentum to the left circle and just dropped it for Friesen. And Friesen fired a lefty shot past Halah's. It's his 15th goal of the year as Friesen now has a goal in 4 straight games. A minute, 16 seconds later, Noah Gansky got a cross-ice feed from Maxim Barbashev. Gansky to the left wing, skated to the goal line, just kind of curled the puck in front of the crease to Riley Connors, and Connors put it away to tie it up, 12:42 in. That was the U of U Health assist of the game. After Connors scored, Idaho made a goaltending change. Benny Alaz saved 9 of 13, and he was replaced by former Grizzly Jake Barcheski, who saved 13 of 15, as Barcheski gets the victory in net, as his record goes to 10-3-1 on the season. Utah took a 5-4 lead as Reed Webster bounced the puck off the left pad of Barcheski. Webster got it back, and he put it past Barcheski for his team-leading 27th of the year. Evan Friesen and Henri Schreifels each picked up an assist. Idaho tied it up later on in the second period, 15:43 in, as Robbie Holmes got his 7th of the year. Jardine and Hershuk each picked up an assist. Score was tied at 5 after 2 periods. Both teams had 2 first-period goals, and both had 3 second-period goals. In the first period, Idaho outshot Utah 15-9. In the second period, Idaho had a 10-9 edge. Third period, the Grizzlies outshot Idaho 9-8. Both teams had 1 goal in the third period. Idaho with a give and go. It was Canadi over to Miller, then back to Canadi, and Nick Canadi fired away for his 7th goal of the year. That was 4:29 into the third. It stayed a 6-5 game for quite a while. Utah had pulled Bassey for an extra attacker, and they got a power play after Charlie Dodaro got a tripping minor 18-15 in. And so with the 6-on-4 power play, Evan Friesen got the puck after the puck has kind of scrambled from here to there, and then Friesen got it. He ricocheted the puck off of Gratton's leg and into the back of the net. As Gratton got his 12th of the year, he ended the night with 1 goal and 1 assist. Evan Friesen ended the night with 4 points as he had 1 goal and 3 assists. And that tied it up. It was a power play goal. Utah went 2 for 4 on the power play tonight, as the power play goal was scored 18:52 in. Then we got to overtime. Both teams had 1 shot, and the Steelheads found the back of the net as Brendan Hoffman had the puck on the right wing, and he centered it to Arcuri, and Arcuri fired it past Bassey for his 17th of the year. Hoffman and the goaltender Jake Barcheski with the assists. So Barcheski ended the night with 1 assist, and he's the winning goaltender. For Brendan Hoffman, he's no doubt the number 1 star of the game, as he had 3 goals and 1 assist. He was a +6, or he was a +1 and had 6 shots. And so Idaho won 7-6 in what was a crazy game. Attendance was 4,113, and they definitely got their money's worth. 3 stars of the game. The third star goes to, well, right now it's listed with Jade Miller getting the 3rd star. They might switch it to Francisco Arcuri after the game-winning goal. Outside of Brendan Hoffman, it was a very balanced attack by the Steelheads tonight. And Jade Miller scored 1 goal and 1 assist. He was a +1 and had 2 shots. Right now, he's the 3rd star. Second star goes to Reed Webster, who had 1 goal and 3 assists. He had 2 shots. You can also credit Evan Friesen with 1 goal and 3 assists tonight, but it's Reed Webster that's the 2nd star of the game. And the number one star goes to Brendan Hoffman, who had 3 goals, 1 assist. He was a +1 and had 6 shots. Hoffman leads the league with 32 goals this season. So we came into play talking about the top 2 goal scorers in the league. Brendan Hoffman and Reed Lepster, and both guys had 4 points tonight. Lepster 1 goal and 3 assists, as he now takes over a team lead. Lepster came into play, tied with Danny Genev with 40 points. And with the 4 points tonight, Reed Lepster now has 44 on the year, as he has 27 goals and 17 assists. And obviously, Brendan Hoffman extended his league lead, as he now has 32 goals on the season. And Hoffman on the year has 32 goals and 19 assists. Winning goaltender was Jake Barcheski, saved 13 of 15. As you mentioned before, his record goes to 10-3-1. Dominic Massey gives Utah a standing point for the 5th time in his last 8 starts, as Massey's record goes to 4-5-3 on the season. By Idaho, they played a ton of overtime games. 6 of their last 8 games have been decided past regulation. And so obviously overtime is nothing new to them. And unfortunately, from the Grizzlies' perspective, historically, overtime games against Idaho haven't necessarily gone Utah's way. But nevertheless, the Grizzlies did pick up a standing point for their efforts, as Utah's record goes to 17-24-5. For Idaho, they got the victory. Their record is now 31-11-4. Steelheads are now 6-4 in overtimes. They are 3-0 in shootouts. So overall past regulation, the Steelheads are 9-4. Now the crowd's filing out of here. And remember, this is just the opener of 4 straight here at Maverik Center. Utah will have Wild West night on Friday as they entertain the Bloomington Bison in the opener of a 3-game series. Saturday night's going to be Valentine's night, and that's going to be a fun day here at Maverik Center. Make sure to get your tickets, UtahGrizzlies.com. And note, if you got Monday off, make sure to come on down to Maverik Center, as it's a special 3 o'clock start on Monday, February 16th. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, as it's the only pro hockey game going on this evening, and what a crazy one it was. Idaho defeats Utah 7-6 in overtime, as Utah's record against the Steelheads this season is now 2-2-2. Next broadcast of Grizzlies hockey will be on Friday night. 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off, as it's Wild West night as the Grizzlies take on the Bloomington Bison. Once again, in 2 hours and 41 minutes, and in front of a Tuesday crowd of 4,113. It was one of the rarest of Tuesday games, as the Grizzlies are playing here at Maverik Center on a Tuesday for the first time in over 5 years. Well, thanks for joining us here tonight. We know there's a pretty good audience on YouTube, and obviously a good audience on Flow Sports, the official streaming provider of the league. I'm Tyson Whiting, and I'm just pursuing my dream, and that's to someday get to the National Hockey League. Tonight, the Steelheads defeat the Grizzlies 7-6. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, not necessarily the final outcome. You've been listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.